Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Copyright disclaimer. This content does not belong to Bible Chronicles or claim this intellectual property. The content provided today has and always will belong to the content owner. Bible Chronicles does not have any affiliation with the owner of this property. As mentioned, Bible Chronicles did not intend to make use of any material for the purpose of harvesting gain. However, Title 17 of United States copyright law states material in use can only be done when it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use, which honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
Los hipócritas e irresponsables que México es un país independiente y libre, no una colonia ni un protectorado de Estados Unidos, y que podrán amenazarnos con cometer cualquier atropello, pero jamás permitiremos que violen nuestra soberanía y pisoteen la dignidad de nuestra patria. Cooperación, sí. Sometimiento, no. Intervencionismo, no. Oligarquía.
Hey, homie, I'm getting tired of dudes just getting over on the raza.
Yeah. This is for the raza. Yeah. This is for the raza. Yeah. This is for the raza. Yo soy jefe, patrón, it's the big boss. My cuenta's loaded, it's full of balas. I put it in your face and you won't say nada. About those cholos, you call us what you will. You say we are assassins and children to kill. It's in my blood to be an Aztec warrior. Go to any extreme and hold no barriers. Chicano, and I'm brown and proud. Want this chingazo, Simone, so let's get down. Right now, in the dirt. What's the matter? You afraid you're gonna get hurt? I'm with my homeboys, my tats, my camaradas. Kicking back on mi ganga y pa' mi no diga nada. Yo soy chingón ese, like Al Capone ese. Controla todo, so don't ever try to sweat me. Some of you don't know what's happening, que pasa. It's not for you anyway, cause this is for the raza. This is for the raza. Raza. This is for the raza. The foreign tongue I'm speaking is known as galo. Y sabes que loco, yo soy muy malo. Tú no sabes nada, your brain is hollow. Been hitting the head too many times with a follow. Still you're trying to act cool, but you should know you're so cool that I'ma call you a culo. You're just a peewee, you can't get none ever. You're on the never. Your own body doesn't back you up. They just look at your ass and call you a poo butt. And so I look and I laugh and say, ¿Qué pasa? Yeah, this is for the raza.
Hey, homie, I'm getting tired of dudes just getting over on the raza.
Headed for Livorno, no one to go with me, so I had to go solo. And when I go out alone, I pack. I don't sweat the javalas when I know that I'm strapped. Every time that I pack my piece, I pull it out quick and all the nonsense will cease. Just like the song when you're 18 with a bullet, got my finger on the trigger and not afraid to pull it. If it gets out of hand, I know some mafiosos with the pull out weapons on some stupid ass baboso. Sitting there wondering what's happening, ¿Qué pasa? Yeah, this is for the raza. This is for the raza. This is for the raza.
Hey, who's the main man in the barrio, homeboy? Who's the main man, homie?
You, aquí estoy, Ezekiel Frost.
What's happening, vato?
You, aquí estoy, Ezekiel Frost.
Hey, homie, I'm getting tired of dudes just getting over on the raza.
You, aquí estoy, Ezekiel Frost.
Mi gente, por ahí andan las noticias que según quieren deportar a toda la raza trabajadora y les hicimos este corrido, compa Kevin.
Para que le pongan oído, dice más o menos así, compadre. Años tengo trabajando de este lado, buscando el mentado sueño americano.
Los gringos aquí ya no nos quieren, que según les estorbamos.
Se menciona mucho en los noticieros, traen muchos mitotesos del gobierno.
Resulta ya quieren deportarme, en eso no estamos de acuerdo.
Resulta que por ser inmigrante mi valor es insignificante. Si supieran lo que batallamos para salir adelante.
Ya con día salimos a chambear, no creo que a nadie le hagamos mal. Ya quisiera verlos trabajando como lo hace este ilegal. ¿Y qué culpa tenemos nosotros los inmigrantes por querer buscar nuestros sueños? ¡Ánimo, mi gente! Y no se me rajen.
Y así suenan los de la norte, compa Jesús Méndez. Puro elegante récord, mi viejo. ¡Ay, ay, ay!
Unos días no duermo y otros como mal, pa' que a mi familia nada le pueda faltar.
Se murió mi madre y a mi padre, espero volverlo a mirar.
Canto por mi gente, no se vayan a agüitar, que Diosito es grande y de esta ley nos va a salvar.
No más acuérdense de Florida, nos volvieron a ocupar.
Resulta que por ser inmigrante mi valor es insignificante. Si supieran lo que hemos sufrido para salir adelante.
Día con día salimos a chambear, no creo que a nadie le hagamos mal. Ya quisiera verlos trabajando como lo hace este ilegal.
autor viene a decirnos con mucha firmeza y gran convencimiento lo mismo que nos decía en el siglo XVIII el barón de Holbach, ¿no? Un filósofo francés de origen alemán. Si nos remontamos al comienzo, entonces hallaremos que la ignorancia y el temor crearon a los dioses. La fantasía, el entusiasmo o el engaño los adornaron o desfiguraron. La debilidad les rinde culto, la credulidad los conserva, la costumbre los respeta y la tiranía los apoya para que la ceguera de los hombres sirva a sus propios intereses.
Yeah, I think it's working. Power. All right, it is. The noise is gone. All right, good evening, family. Buenas noches. Buenos dias and buenas tardes. I say that in case you guys are watching from afar. Hold on, let me change this song because that's not what I chose in the get-go. I don't know. Sounds cheesy as hell. Dispensing me. Let me go ahead and do this here. Apparently, I don't know. I usually play one type of music and they changed it on me. Hopefully, you guys can appreciate the background. All right, let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. Good to have you. All will be revealed, bro. I see you, bro. Yep. Obadiah 1 and 8. Let me read that real quick. See that. Give me a second. There it goes. Okay. Okay, that's weird. It should show the picture. Huh. Let me do it again. All right, let me take it off. I'll go this way. It's just really awkward. Okay, there it goes. There it goes. That's it. That's the way it should work. Didn't work that way. Okay. Hold on a second, bro. Started off with that. It's a good way. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 8. It reads, "Shall I not in that day," this is future, "saith the Lord." So in that day, saith the Lord, "even destroy the wise men out of Edom." So he's going to get rid of these so-called smart Alex. You know, the ones that believe they were given all the power, knowledge, and shit because they look a certain way. Wise men out of Edom, it says, "an understanding of the mount of Esau." So basically, he's going to dumbify you guys. And we're seeing some of that today. And that's why today's session, I'll say it that way, an American Midas touch horror story. So you guys are going to find out what that means in a bit. You guys all know what I do. I show you guys videos, some books, and then, scriptures. So I'm going to, hopefully it all makes sense today. Okay. So without further ado, let's get started. I got some messages. I got some things to share with y'all. I hope you guys can appreciate it. I at least wanted to do one class this weekend. I was planning on doing this on a weekend. On Friday, stuff came up. Couldn't do it. It is what it is. Nobody pays me for these services, so you know what I mean. If I can get it done, I get it done, bro. Hopefully, it's edifying. You know what I'm saying? When the time comes. But hey, listen, I've done enough videos where you guys can go back in there and look through, because everything connects. And again, this isn't hate talk, man. In this channel, we talk facts. You know what I'm saying? We share stories and we get to the nitty gritty. All right, let's go.
You've been lied to. Thanksgiving Day is a massacre that supports Native American genocide. When you think of Thanksgiving, you probably imagine the Pilgrims and Indians sitting together with a giant turkey and breaking bread. But the truth is, this never happened. That's because the first Thanksgiving was a massacre. While many cite back to the autumn of 1621, when natives and pilgrims celebrated the autumn harvest as the first Thanksgiving, first actual Thanksgiving was in 1637. And that's because Massachusetts Bay Colony Governor John Winthrop declared it a day of Thanksgiving after the massacre of native people. Hundreds of Pequot men, women, and children were slaughtered in what is now Mystic, Connecticut. And after this was done, John Winthrop declared it a day of Thanksgiving. And it wasn't until Abraham Lincoln, the president that took lands away from tribal members to give to settlers to further his railroad, and also was responsible for the largest mass execution in United States history, which was of 38 Dakota members. Yep, he's the one that declared Thanksgiving as an official holiday in the United States. So how can you celebrate the somber day of Thanksgiving respectfully? I'm not telling you can't have turkey or spend some time with your family. Maybe start your meal with a land acknowledgement. Use resources like nativeland.ca or the app and website Whose Land to see whose land you're currently occupying. Look into Native American groups and causes that you could donate to. Support Native American activists, authors, and chefs. Take some time to learn about Native American causes or what issues are currently facing Native American people. Native Americans currently make the least amount of any other group of individuals. Our women are experiencing an MMIW crisis. Many natives live in food deserts and don't have access to clean water. And Native Americans have unequal access to both health and mental health services. So on Thanksgiving Day, aka a day of mourning, remember that Native Americans are still here and to acknowledge the truth and history regarding this holiday.
Some people may actually take the Thanksgiving Day. Or I'll say it like this. The other day, my sister asked me, which I don't talk to, but, I happen to be at my mom's house. She's like, are you going to come to my dad's, memorial, I guess? They do a rosario and shit, right? I'm like, no. Oh, okay. We don't talk much after that. So I asked my mom, hey, Mom, why do you guys do that? Because they're Catholics. She's, well, it's a memorial. Okay, cool. Sounds good. But where does it say that in the Bible that you're supposed to do that? Because I know Egyptians do that, through that, not Egyptians like nowadays, but, the religion back in Egypt, they used to, mourn the dead. That's why I told her, even in scripture, that's why the Messiah says, hey, let the dead bury the dead. Why do you guys keep praying for my father every year? Do you think that prayer is going to be are you thinking he's in hell and shit? If he's in heaven, hopefully, if there is like that, right? Let's just say, I'm going with their logic, Christian. Why do you keep praying? So anyways, it's kind of like this with Thanksgiving. They're reminding us of death, thanking it in a good way. You got to really think about that. Check this out. Here's another little topic here.
So I saw a snippet of this pop up on Facebook, and this was absolutely fascinating. December 12th, 1935, Indian blood bars Mexicans as citizens. Judge Knight at Buffalo denies petitions of 3 for naturalization. So December 11th, Judge John Knight in the federal court today denied the petition of 3 Mexicans for citizenship because they had a strain of Indian blood. The opinion would make Indian-blooded Mexicans ineligible for admission to the United States as immigrants, and it is believed here will bring a protest from the Mexican embassy. Mexicans are placed outside the category of aliens being free white persons and aliens of African nativity and persons of African descent, to whom the naturalization laws apply, according to the federal code, Judge Knight ruled. The opinion was handed down as the result of the opposition by the naturalization examiner, John L. Murph, to the applications of the 3 people listed. The examiner contended that the applicants were of part Indian blood. Judge Knight held that the Rodriguez decision in Texas in 1897 that Mexicans are white and entitled to citizenship was not consistent with later decisions of the U.S. Supreme Court. In 1897, they'd been legally defined as white, like our people. And then they go on to say, Examiner Murph's memorandum pointed out that the only genuine Mexican is an Indian, and that about 20% of the Mexicans are considered white, 60% of Indian blood, and the rest mixed blood. What I find fascinating here is that in the 1800s and well into the 1900s, you can see at least, people knew that Mexicans were of the native or Indian race, and that's how they considered us. That's how they racialized us. Over the last couple of decades, it's like the majority of the country didn't know that. At least, like, let me give you an example. Like 10 years ago, most people here in the South, if I talk to anybody, they would have no idea what a Mexican descends from. They had no fucking idea, because I remember I was laughed at in school whenever I was like, maybe I'm like half Aztec or some shit. Back then I was very misinformed. I was like 16. And so people thought that would be ridiculous, and then they also thought it would be ridiculous if I said I was Spaniard, because they were like, you're not white. But it's hilarious because this apparently was common knowledge like well over a century ago, but it got lost over time, like the fact that a lot of Mexicans have that type of indigenous origin. Now, it's become more common knowledge now with TikTok, with the internet, with people making content saying that, hey, we descend from this is our ancestry, shit like that, right? But I think it's hilarious how there is like amnesia for...
It's not hilarious, it's purposely done. Purposely done. Purposely done. I'll show you something. We know of this today. This is from MSN.com regarding the border czar, they call him. Can I close this? I can't close this. Tom Homan says U.S. has no other option than mass deportation. This was, apparently so. So there's no other option but this. Incoming border czar Tom Homan discusses his vision for the border with News Nation Now, saying he sees no other option than to carry out mass deportation. Homan, who toured Texas this week, rebuked the notion that mass deportation are anything other than the necessity. Do you guys understand what that means? It says that it's anything other than the necessity. It doesn't not matter for the care, love, compassion for the elderly, the young, the old. I mean, the elderly, the young, the ones that are being cared for, the ones that are sick, the ones that are getting treatment, the ones that could be on like some air. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Some people that may not be necessarily legal, I think they're still getting some type of help. You want to just do that. And listen, I think at this point, after having some time to reflect on the fact that Edomites are just fucking evil, and there's just no repercussion. No. You guys are just a sad case. You're a horrible nation of people, and I don't pray for mercy on you at all. You are going to implement this type of hatred towards our people, and that's totally fine. Go ahead, please salivate on that shit, including everybody that's supporting this concept too. And I'm going to show you guys how far this rabbit hole can get. This hatred is just it's just sickening. But anyways, it says here, critics saying, well, that's that radical. It's racist. It's un-American. It's just ridiculous, he says. Of course, there has to be an historic deportation operation. You hear this? Of course, there has to be an historic deportation operation because we have no other option. A historic one. Like it's the first time? Or you mean like make it better than it was last time? Are you talking about being in the fucking almanac and shit? So like the Guinness Book of World Records, the best deportator of the entire world. So far, Trump has won. And by the way, this is the same man that worked under what's his name? Obama. Well, you guys know Obama deported a lot of our gente. This guy worked for him. That's exactly who did it. Matthew 18:6. Let me read that. It says Matthew 18:6. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck. Because a lot of these brothers of ours and sisters who are going to suffer believe in Jesus. Yeah, they believe in a white one, but they believe in a Messiah. If it doesn't happen, we're sending out messages to the entire world, he says. You can cross the border legally, which is a crime. I wonder if you were saying that in 1800 and 17, 16, 15. You can be released into the United States. I wonder if you were saying that in 1896 when you guys were coming over here still. Either go to court or not show up in court and get a normal removal. I wonder if you guys did that when you were coming over here. Which court did you go to over here that belonged to this land? And we're not going to remove you. The whole world is going to come into this country, he says. Basically saying we need to put our foot down because the white man, that's the way we do it, dog. That's the way we rednecks do it, dog. You know what I'm saying? We send these beaners back home. Holman also pushed back on sanctuary cities in democratic states like Colorado, Illinois, and New York, suggesting that they choose not to help ICE. The alternative could be worse. If you don't want their help, I've given them a warning. Do not impede us. Do not knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien from ICE. By the way, this word right here, it's a derogatory fucking term. Okay, Mr. White Man. It's like me saying, you fucking cracker. You fucking dirty cracker. You guys are, you don't shower. You brought disease to this world. You guys are not smart. You just take advantage of other people's talent. That's racist, right? Well, that's very derogatory. Well, so is being called an alien. It's no different than telling a black man that he's a nig with a hard R. It's the same shit. And you guys don't realize that. Every single one of you that's using this illegal alien means nigger, basically. I don't give a shit if you think I'm fucking wrong with that. That's exactly what it fucking means. I'm going to show you exactly the terminology of it. I'm taking my time on this one. Because I think it's time that you guys understand what the hell this means right here. Illegal. What do you mean alien? What, we're not from this world? All of a sudden now we just like, we just fucking, we just grew up out of nowhere? So aliens now. Matthew 24:17. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to this club. Okay. I don't know what you mean, bro. I'm not on that topic right now. And conceal an illegal alien from ICE. Because that is a crime. And we'll prosecute those crimes. I would think it would be a non-partisan issue to remove public safety threats out of the community. You see that? I would think it would be a non-partisan issue to remove public safety threats out of the community. Basically saying, don't worry about what we're going to do. Like, don't worry about our work. We're going to do what we're going to do, because we could do it. Because, we're white. Racist rednecks. Nazis and shit, you know what I'm saying? The ones that believe in Jesus. The Christians that go to church every Sunday. The ones that come to this channel sometimes and try to tell us that Jesus loves everybody. Those same ones. This guy's a Christian. This guy goes to church every Sunday, I believe. I'm sure he does. He celebrated Thanksgiving. I'm sure he's going to fucking go to Christmas and shit and think like, Jesus. And then he's going to go, throw eggs around, and you know what I mean, while he's deporting people. And so his kids can catch him and shit, or grandkids, whatever the fuck it is. Holman does hope that sanctuary cities will sit down at the table with us and discuss this. There's no discussion with somebody like him. Now, why is that important? Why am I reading this report? Because I think you guys are forgetting about a history. We've been through this so many times.
You cannot know the contemporary moment if you don't know the history that produced it.
There have been two mass deportation waves specifically targeting Mexicans. First, during the Great Depression, when 1.8 million people were deported to Mexico in what were called repatriation drives, meaning returning someone to their own country. But according to a 2004 investigation, around 60% of them were U.S. citizens of Mexican descent. Repatriation also sounds like it was voluntary. But as Dr. Ramona Perez from the anthropology department at SDSU explains, that was not the case.
And they call it voluntary deportation. That is a rhetoric. It is a narrative that we were living during that time period which scared us and made us feel like we had to voluntarily go back, right? If we didn't, we were going to be harmed. We were going to be stripped of our culture. We were going to be stripped of our resources. We were not going to have the opportunity to thrive.
Then in the 1950s, as many as 1.1 million people were deported under an Eisenhower-era campaign targeting undocumented workers. But it also impacted braceros, those who were in the U.S. legally through the Mexican Farm Labor Program. Now, decades later,
we are going to start the largest mass deportation in the history of our country.
I will say I'm very worried about mass deportations.
One day after the election, I asked UC San Diego professor Rafael Fernandez de Castro what the future could look like.
If he will start deporting people at the speed he's saying he will do, it will really damage the U.S. economy. And I believe we will have a lot of broken families in the U.S.
There'll be a lot of broken families. Damn right it'd be a lot of broken families. Deuteronomy 19:14. I think I'll get that one for you. It says, "Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmarks, which they of old time have set in thine inheritance." This is also considering the 13 colonies, you dumbasses. You 1776ers, you don't know shit about your own history. You're saying you're Christian. Well, why don't you listen to this right here? In 1776, the reason why you were arguing with Britain was because they told you not to expand. You were saying you're Christians. Okay, so then how come you removed other people's landmarks, which they of the old time have set in thine inheritance? It was clear that you guys forced our brethren a little bit more this way, but even when you come to an agreement, it doesn't fucking matter to you. Which thou shalt set inheritance in the which thou shalt inherit in the land that the Lord thy God giveth thee to possess it. Now, you think that we just ended up out of nowhere? Or are you gonna play stupid now, Mr. Crackety Cracks? You racist hooligans calling us aliens. That shit is the most derogatory term you can call anybody, bro. Alien is a derogatory term. It's like calling a black person that N-word with a hard-ass R. It's no fucking different. I know a lot of you guys think it's not the same. Yeah, it is the fucking same. We ain't no aliens, dumbasses. What do you think they put the hard R at the end, right? They related monkeys to black folks. That's what white racist people did. So what do you think alien means, dumbass? Same shit. Like we're animals. We're foreign. You know what I mean? You guys need to start waking the hell up, because I think it's just very offensive of the simple fact that you don't even see really. Mr. 1776ers, you're all about fucking Christianity, but here it says don't move landmarks, and that's the first thing you do. Make it make sense.
This is Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen. With the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place. This message is a warning and a reminder for any surviving Jedi. Trust in the Force. Do not return to the temple. That time has passed. And our future is uncertain. We will each be challenged. Our trust, our faith, our friendships. But we must persevere in time, a new hope will emerge.
I think I showed that to you guys last time, and it was kind of quick, you know. I thought it was a good moment here to show and to express just really the mindset that they've been wanting us to have for a long time. And I think that we're at that pinnacle of life where you guys have to decide if this is the kind of mindset you want to continue to have, or if you're going to push back. Because whether you like it or not, y'all going to have to make a decision. Scripturally speaking, it said it there itself that people are going to have to be joining within their own. Man, what's that? Well, which one is it? Let me look for it while this plays.
Europeans come to this continent, literally ethnically cleanse the indigenous population out of existence, kill them on a scale that has hardly been equaled by the millions, and refer to them as savages. That's an achievement. Who's the savage? If you go, the first time I encountered this was in a little town in Massachusetts called Deerfield, or Old Deerfield. It's a reconstruction of what that little town looked like in colonial America. And so the houses are redone to look like they did then. Very nice job. It's a tourist thing. You go there and you look at that. And in front of each house is a plaque that explains something about this house. It was inhabited by the Yipsy Doodle family or whatever it was. And then description. On the 18th of October of 1702, the savages attacked. I remember the first time I saw this, the savages. You come in here, destroy everything these people have, and they are the savages. That's an interesting move.
It is.
You know?
I hadn't.
Isn't it? Savages, right? We had to kill the savages. We had to burn the savages. We had to, we had to lynch the savages because they were savages. We were not savages. Even though savagery does that shit. Kills and destroys, regardless of the matter. This is a very good term that was said a long time ago that let him say it.
Pobre México, tan lejos de Dios y tan cerca de Estados Unidos.
Una vez más en 2024, contempla atacar de manera militar a nuestro país. Atacar a México, dijo.
Donald Trump ha amenazado con imponer aranceles del 25% a todas las importaciones de productos desde México.
Pues a través de una operación militar, eso significa una invasión a México, una invasión militar de Estados Unidos a México, es lo que propone Donald Trump.
Lo que parecía una idea descabellada cuando se revelara que el expresidente Trump había sugerido al Pentágono lanzar misiles sobre territorio mexicano.
Here, I'll say this. I find it interesting that somebody can get shot like that by the ear and then like all of a sudden next week it gets fixed. If you guys grew up in the hood, you should know that that's not the way it works. You know, somebody just shot your ass. Donald Trump has never been in a fight. Matter of fact, I'd be the first one to fucking put my hands down and tell you right now. I mean, there's no way, bro. Shit, I know for a fact. Let's put it that way. I know for a fact he's never been in a fight. Are you gonna tell me that all of a sudden, bullet went through his ear? I'm so tough. I'll do it again. Oh, you guys. Let me tell you exactly why I call this class the Midas touch. As a terminology. Okay. Midas touch, it's called. So this is what it means. All right, this guy named Scott Ritter, X-Ray, he wrote this. That's what it means. Okay, check this out. America today believes that when it comes to foreign policy, we are possessed with the Midas touch, quote unquote. Everything we do turns to gold. But the reality is that just like King Midas of old, everything we touch dies. Ooh. Why is that? Let's continue reading. King Midas was a Phrygian king believed to rule in the 2nd millennium BC, whose territory encompassed the area what is modern-day Anatolian plateau around the present-day city of Ankara. Plinius Ovidius Naso, the Roman poet better known as Ovid, told the tale of King Midas in the volume 11 of his 15th book anthology of Greek logical narrative, called Metamorphosis. There, Midas befriends the satyr Cilius, who, as a reward for Midas' hospitality, granted the Phrygian king a wish. Midas wished that everything he touched turned to gold. The wish was granted, and soon Midas was overjoyed by his ability to instantly create wealth, like America. However, the fulfilled wish soon became a curse. For when Midas tried to eat food or drink, he could not do so because it turned to gold at his touch. When his daughters tried to console him, he touched her, turning her into gold, thereby killing her. Midas finished his life alone, parched, and starved. There's no better analogy for America. America, self-anointed role as a global hegemon, than that of King Midas, because that's technically how you guys feel about yourselves. You ruled. You're the greatest. Nobody can stop you. We call the American Midas touch by many names. We are exceptional, and we are the exceptional nation. The indispensable nation, they call themselves. The guardian of the rules based international order we ourselves wrote. Democracy is our goal. We seek to reach out and touch as many nations as possible with the wonderful gift. I'm going to show you something real quick that I was actually going to save for later. But I think it fucking fits the perfect example right now. So let me bring it back, because this is amazing. Matter of fact, it was kind of not too far from it. But what a beautiful element to read, and then at the same time to see it,
U.S. Vice President,
and like picture it and say like, yo, for real, this is really it. Yeah, man, because you want to know something about the whole topic of this class is that we're going to read Jeremiah 49, Jeremiah 50, maybe 51 too as well. And we're going to see the demise of their own self-destruction, because technically the Midas touch is just self-destruction. That's what it is. And listen, you guys can throw all you hate you can throw all the hate you want. You can deport our people, express your anger, salivate the sadness, they say. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Proverbs 26:27. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. So we call the American Midas touch by many names. We are the exceptional nation, the indispensable nation, the guardian of rules based on international order we ourselves wrote. Democracy is our goal, like God, and we seek to reach out and touch as many nations as possible with the wonderful gifts. Just like Revelation, they send gifts to one another. You know, economic slavery. Yeah, it's right in front of you. Check it out. We're going to listen to this real quick. because it's literally the topic.
And this leads me to my third and final reason why I believe that Americans vote seemingly against their own self-interest. If we presume self-interest is interpreted in a distinctly Western European kind of way. And I think it kind of comes down to the fact that Americans ultimately have a hard time accepting that they might have something to learn. If you are a living, breathing, voter card carrying American today, you have lived your entire life now with the United States being superior. And while I say that somewhat sarcastically, truthfully, whether you measure it in financial, cultural, social, or militaristic terms, the US has been on top of the global food chain, so to speak. We conquered the great frontier on Earth and in the heavens. We are the gold standard, whether you measure us in athletics or in science. And we didn't just invent freedom, we trademarked it. And yeah, this ages me, but I was only 1.5 years old when the Soviet Union fell apart.
So this is a perfect point that she's making, because it reminds you of how weak these men are. These men that voted for Trump, they're weak men. They grew up in the most easiest, best time in the entire world. Things were given to you. Fucking racist bastards, bro. You guys never experienced suffering. Your parents did. Meaning like they had to work. But this hatred, like most of you guys that voted for Trump between age 20 and change and 45 and kind of like my age, this little group was the one that pushed them to win. And this little group was the one that literally has lived in probably the best times of their lives. And this little group is the same one that their women tend to be the ones that are working the most. Yeah. I found out that a lot of you white folks are fucking lazy, and your women are the ones that are paying for your bills. And they're the ones that are supporting you when you're going through your emotional fucking roller coaster that everybody understands, that scientists even speak about, that when white people end up hitting about 8 years of 40 and 40 some shit, you guys are the ones that really whack the fuck out. Yeah. And we're finding out that a lot of your women are speaking out and actually saying that you guys are the lazy bums that have been having a hard time to find a fucking job, God knows why, and that you're hoping your big daddy orange man is going to fucking fix everything. That's some sad shit. These are the people right here. These are the ones that voted for Trump. These are the ones that lived through this time right here, that have never experienced no type of struggle in the entire life. Only lived in America, ate their hot dogs, watched fucking football on Friday nights, high school football. I'm on the varsity team. Yes, this goes for both you nations. You guys are weak, complaining about the little man. Let's look at how weak you guys are.
States being superior. And while I say that somewhat sarcastically, truthfully, whether you measure it in financial, cultural, social, or militaristic terms, the US has been on top of the global food chain, so to speak. We conquered the great frontier on Earth and in the heavens. We are the gold standard, whether you measure us in athletics or in science. And we didn't just invent freedom, we trademarked it. And yeah, this ages me, but I was only 1.5 years old when the Soviet Union fell apart. And so pretty much my entire existence on this planet has been during a time in which the US was the only global superpower. And so too, perhaps unsurprisingly, Americans believe with all sincerity that they live in the greatest nation on Earth, full stop. But the reason why American exceptionalism is so pervasive isn't just because we believe that we are great, but that we also did it by ourselves. I think it's really interesting.
And that right there is where it's the demise of a nation. Scriptures talk about that ego will be the destruction of yourself. Now, a lot of you guys that are not familiar with my channel, you probably are wondering, why am I just showing videos and talking? Well, I do things different here. So I'll bring Bible history and videos and books and stuff like that. So today is one of those videos where one of those classes where I kind of want to take you through what I'm seeing, and then I'm going to show you some scriptures and how it all connects. So please be patient in case you're not familiar with the way I talk and do and move. Just trust and believe that what I'm doing is going to lead to something. So here we see The everlasting egotistical self of self by the Edomites. I'll say it today like that. That they really, really believe their own dirty underwear. That it wasn't them. It just happened to be dirty. Let's go.
That even on a national level, we do try to reinforce this idea that we are a self-made man, a self-made nation, and that these two things together, that we're so successful because we did it all by ourselves. Well, together, those things reinforce a political point of view that is inherently, I think, disjointed from the way in which many Western European people see politics and the role of government and, well, ultimately, the hallmarks of what they consider a healthy society to be.
So that is an important thing, because here now we're going to move on to this section. Okay, before I go to the video, I want to show you this real quick. There's this thing called Alice in Wonderland tactic. Okay, in case you guys are not familiar, you should look into this because it's really important. The following excerpts is from Kirk Kubark, Counterintelligence Interrogation CIA Torture Guide, dated in 1963. The aim of the Alice in Wonderland tactic or confusion technique is to confound the expectations and conditions. It's to confound the expectations and conditions relations of the interrogatee, or in its current mainstream application, to force the controlled narrative onto a unsuspecting public. Oof.
That's gonna hurt.
Yeah, Proverbs 16:18, pride goeth before destruction and the haughty spirit before a fall. So here we see that pride is very influential. So when you use pride against somebody, you can psychologically control that person when they're prideful. Yeah. There's two ways to give them the options. Let them have control. For example, if I want to have dinner and I say, and I want to go to a certain food, right? But I know that this person is not going to be willing to work with me. So I'm like in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I either want to eat this or that. So I'll say, I want to eat Mexican food or let's say Chinese food. So instead of saying, hey, I want to do this, and they're going to be like, no, I don't want to do, right? No, don't do that. No, be smart. You see what I'm saying? Let pride deceive itself. So what you do is you present options like what they do, Republican or Democrat. So what you say is this: hey, listen, you choose today. What do you think? Mexican or Chinese food? Oh, Mexican, of course. Right? You got to be smart. And you see, I only do this to people that I want to literally manipulate. I don't do this to my family. And the reason why I know these tactics is because it has to do with sales. And these guys sell you all the time. That's why in my channel I say facts tell, stories sell. So again, to force the controlled narrative onto a unsuspecting public through the use of psychological operation tactics spread through the mainstream media. Eventually, a nation decimates itself not because of the fact of weakness, it's because of ego. So let's experience and look at the ego and also its history. You see, that's why when you are somebody that studies the scriptures and at least try to be sincere with yourself, because we don't all know everything. But this should mean something to you. Revelation 1:3, blessed is he that readeth. Blessed is he that readeth. And they that hear the words of this prophecy. And keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. You see, so blessed are you that read. That's why I tell you guys, read. Don't just listen to it. If you cannot read, it's a problem. If you fall asleep while you're reading, it's a problem. It's not with the book and it's not with the words. It's you, your spirit. You got some shit to clean. And they that hear the words of this prophecy and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. So blessed are you that actually does it and actually reads and pays attention and looks around and like, whoa, what's that mean? What is this? What the hell is this? So I'll show you this real quick. Blessing and prophecy, right? Remember, talking about prophecy as well. Okay, I'm gonna show you something. Where you at? Hold on a second here. I saved it earlier. Okay, I'll just go back to this then. Hold on, give me a second. Go to my pictures. This right here. You see, I did a class on this about 4 months before the election. And I had a feeling that that dude was going to win because of what I saw here. So this was from a magazine, which I have, by the way. It was, is it here? I think I took it back home. I may have it here. I don't know. Anyways, it's from the World Ahead 2024. So I don't know why, but this is kind of weird, but I saw this. And a brother was the one that sent it to me, to be honest with you. And then I got the magazine. So check it out. Stat right there is Sheinbaum, the Mexican president. That right there is Donald Trump, the savior. Oh, the one that got shot in the ear. I wonder why they put that in his ear. It's all planned, stupid asses. But no, you guys don't want to believe anything. And who's at war right now? Ukraine and Russia. Time is ticking, right? So we know now that the beginning of the end is going to be right here. These two are going to set it off right here. These two. And we hear them talk. We hear them talk. You see where it starts? Bombed savior or savior bomb. You see somebody's doing something. I really don't know what this means compared to this. He's a savior. She's got missiles. And it's just a matter of time, right? Before it sets off. Now, somebody did something in certain areas. They made a big deal about new moons and the dark moon and the blood moon and all this and that. And in the same year, they make a big deal about voting. So all of you guys that actually did vote, I think you really made a significant change in your life, and I don't think it's for a good reason. So we see here the fight for lithium. We also see the hate for the debauchery of the economy, the currency. These here are what you would call tankers, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Commodities, things that are being transported, you know, talk about internationally. And then when you look at these two people here, now you start to wonder, what is this? So there's some type of power control here. Right? Now here we see, look, the minerals. Energy. Lithium. Now again, I don't know. I could be wrong. But then again, I may not be wrong. Because apparently here in this particular type of society, the Matrix, you know, they call it the Alice in Wonderland tactic. To force the controlled narrative onto an unsuspecting public through the use of psychological operations, tactics spread through the mainstream media. Most people are accustomed to a world that makes some sense, at least in their minds, and that which supports their sense of identity. Oof. Why do you think you get wobbles, FBAs, BHIs, Christians, you know what I'm saying? All this shit in this continent. Don't you find that shit ironic? That you guys are finding yourselves here in our continent. You're finding yourselves here in our continent. Ezekiel 33:6. But if the watchmen see the sword come and blow not the trumpet. Oh, bro, that's beautiful. Hold on a second, bro. Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins. And you know what? The reason I let it play, man, is because that shit is true, bro. That shit is very true. Ezekiel 33:6. But if the watchmen see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity. But his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. Oh, bro, like, hey, listen, bro, for real. Oh. Oh, shit. No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to do that. I am not going to do that. That's why, to me, when I saw this, I had to share it. I have to say it. Verse 6. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me. So that's why I've been kind of, been yelling for quite some time. And I don't know, a lot of people don't believe, but whatever. Again, Alice in Wonderland tactic, confusion technique. What do? It's a mainstream ideology using mainstream media to psychologically control you and make you believe in a narrative that is not real, but it's based on individuals supposedly giving you the individuality. But at the same time, in order to look, this is interesting. It gives you the individuality concept, but in order to cling on a system. The same thing they did to us. We were a communal people. And then when they came, they separated us, made us believe that we're separate but equal. Isn't that the same thing that, BHIs do? They say the same shit. The individual or the public may cling to this belief system that makes up their worldview in order to reinforce their ego identity and powers of resistance to not bend to the will of others, superimpose narratives and agendas. So through this tactic, right, they create an ideology of self-development, but with the narrative of believing or clinging to their system ideology. Now, what happens when you start doing that? I think that it's very clear to us who have studied this
about how and why civilization.
Hey, I'm talking it. So I'm going to show you guys some videos here. And you're going to see how can I say this? Here, I'll read it. I'll just say it like this. That's why I tell brothers, man, vengeance is of the Lord. All you can do is pray. I know it sounds effed up. And repent. It does help, and it does work. Psalms 94:1, O Lord God, to whom vengeance belongeth. O God, to whom vengeance belongeth, show thyself. A lot of times we think vengeance is fast. No, it's not. It's not fast. It takes its time at times. It manifests. It allows itself to manifest in the way that the Most High wants it to be done. So when you read Romans 9, for example, it says exactly just that. Romans 9:11, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to the election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. See? It is said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Have I hated. And it has nothing to do. Remember, it wasn't because he did something wrong or not. No, that's the way it is. So now let's listen in. The beginning and the end of a civilization. Hopefully they don't block me, because I don't think they will, man. Hold on, let me check this back end channel here. Need to check that because they may. Hold on. Huh, that's weird. You know, it's funny, man. I have the link of the live that I was supposed to do didn't connect to this link. That's weird. Anyways, it doesn't matter. It's all good. It is what it is. YouTube be fucking with me anyways. All right, let's go.
16 years as a hostage at Rome, where he was treated more like a guest than a prisoner. While there, he became friends with the most powerful Roman family of the day, the Scipios. Polybius accompanied these Roman generals on campaigns in Africa and Spain, and thus, when it came to analyzing the fall of the Greek world and the rise of Rome, Polybius had truly witnessed both sides. Before looking at Polybius's explanation for the rise of Rome, we need to examine his overall ideas about how and why civilizations rise and fall.
So this guy has a concept of like why things become the way they become and why they end up decimating, pretty much. Okay. So here we go.
Like many ancient thinkers, Polybius believed that civilizations behaved like living creatures and followed a natural biological cycle of birth, growth, maturity, stagnation, decline, and death. The earlier Greek philosophers Plato and Aristotle had both expressed versions of this theory. Polybius took these ideas even further and offered a very elaborate scheme. He proposed a cyclical progression of 7 stages of government that form an endless repeating loop called anacyclosis. He posited that primitive humans had begun in a sort of anarchic original condition without political structures. This is the first stage. Eventually, a strong leader emerges who brings order and direction for the good of all, and thereby gains the respect and fealty of the group. The people willingly bestow the mantle of authority upon him, and thus we reach the second stage of the cycle, kingship. While the original king earned his position of leadership through his actions, the kingship was usually then passed down by heredity. Over time, subsequent monarchs start to grow arrogant and abuse their power through arbitrary or unjust actions, and the kingship degenerates into the third phase, tyranny. This provokes a group of the wealthiest and most dynamic men to organize together and overthrow the tyrant. They then take charge of running the state in a collective fashion, sharing power among themselves. And the fourth phase, aristocracy, is born. While the initial group of aristocrats acts with the interests of all in mind, once again, over subsequent generations, their descendants become addicted to wealth and status and begin to think only of themselves, and aristocracy degenerates into its corrupt form, oligarchy. The ordinary people inevitably grow weary of the abuses of the overbearing oligarchs and reach a point where they can't take it anymore. The people rise up in revolution and either kill or expel the oligarchs. Recalling their ill treatment by tyrants and oligarchs, they desire neither a kingship nor an aristocracy. This inspires them to take up the reins of government themselves and create a democracy in which political power rests in the hands of the people.
Sound familiar so far? It sounds very familiar. And it looks very familiar. Matter of fact, it's even too familiar. Enough where I don't even like it. You see how it develops into stages. That's why this scripture here, where you at? This one. Proverbs 16:18. Pride goes before destruction. Scriptures always ask you to self-examine. That's how you know what state or spirit you're dealing with at that time. Let's go.
Equality and freedom of speech typically form two of the cornerstones of democracies. For a time, there is harmony and prosperity, but soon corruption again creeps in. Later generations, who have grown up always enjoying freedom of speech and equality, begin to take these rights for granted and no longer guard or value them. Greed leads to inequality, and affluence fosters a sense of entitlement. Both create resentment among the populace. Deceitful and shameless leaders arise who play upon these feelings by making extravagant promises, vowing to shower the people with gifts. But in reality, these men are only concerned with increasing their own power. With the rise of such power-hungry and narcissistic leaders, often called demagogues, democracy devolves into the next phase, mob rule. At some point, one of the demagogues emerges as dominant over all the others and seizes control of the state, or else there is a general collapse into anarchy, followed by the emergence of a new strongman. Then, the entire cycle repeats itself.
Son of a bitch. There it goes. Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. See that? Tricky shit, huh? Just muted me out of nowhere. Pinches diablos, way. Anyways, I've shared with you guys before in the past. I've shared with you guys before a book by Edward Bernays called Propaganda. And it talks about just that. As a matter of fact, even in the book that I also shared with you, The Perils of the Republic, it speaks of this type of talk and attitude. And when you read the Maccabees, by the way, and I know, brother, I'll be revealed, you like that book a lot. I think you told me before. The Maccabees talks about them having a Senate. The organization, the structure, all of that shit. Here, I'll show you. I think it's 17. Wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let me see. Give me a second. I'll find it. It's easy. Because it's literally one word. Right here. First Maccabees 8. It says here, moreover, how they made them for themselves a senate house, wherein 320 men sat in the council daily, consulting a way for the people to the end that they might be well ordered. You see? Check this out. We're leading to that, right? Let's go.
This is how Polybius described his doctrine of anacyclosis. And in his presentation of it, there is indeed an almost biological inevitability to the way in which each stage degenerates into its negative twin. That Polybius would subscribe to this theory is quite understandable, because its general outlines matched up well against the histories of many of the Greek city-states. For example, if we look at Athens, the largest and most famous of them, its development aligns pretty well with the anacyclosis scheme. According to legend, its earliest rulers were wise kings, such as Theseus, who was renowned for slaying the half-bull, half-human monster known as the Minotaur. Then as Athens grew in power and wealth, it went through a phase when it was ruled by tyrants. The arrogant behavior of these tyrants caused them to be overthrown, and a group of aristocratic families assumed power. Over time, a series of institutional reforms shifted Athens towards an ever more democratic structure of government, culminating in the direct radical democracy of the mid-5th century BC, a time that also corresponded to the high point of Athenian power and wealth. Towards the end of the 5th century BC, however, unscrupulous politicians...
So now it's going further into their history and all that. I don't got to show you all that shit. It's...
US Vice President...
Calm down, little turbo. Calm down, little turbo. I did tell you I was going to show you this before. Let me just get to it because I almost forgot. So, the word illegal, contrary to or forbidden by law, especially criminal law. Okay? Not according to or authorized by law, unlawful, illicit, not sanctioned by official rule. A person who enters or lives in a country without the documentation required for legal entry or residency, right? Criminal, felon, unlawful, illegitimate. Let me show this to you guys. See something. Huh. Interesting. Doesn't even give us that. Anyways, but let's see if I can find it here. It says a campaign to stop illegal sale of cigarettes, legal drive. Hold on a second. Give me a second here. Here it goes. Illegal.
Illegal. Illegal. Illegal.
An offensive word for someone who lives or works in another country.
Illegal.
So you might as well just do the NG type of call. Well, it's like telling a homosexual, and YouTube don't ban me on this because I'm going to use that as an example. It's like calling a homosexual a faggot. That's what you guys are doing. So when you call in a so-called Mexican, you call him an illegal. It's a very derogatory term. It's a very offensive term. Something you cannot get around anymore. But you guys know something? When you don't say shit and you stay quiet, well, guess what? You make it normal. You make it okay. You think it's okay. It's not. Because guess what? This is what our people do here. This is what we do. Who's going to do these jobs? I mean, you guys are all laughing and shit. I see all kinds of people, black people, white people, brown, like, you know what I'm saying? You guys are all laughing. Like, well, let's see now when the border patrol pendejo and they come and take you. Okay, well, guess what? You got black jobs now. Let's see if you can fucking do them. What if I say that? You see how racist that shit sounds? But you don't even see the... Matter of fact, this is the sad part. You Democrats, you showed your true colors. And you know what the sad part is? That it's not even white people being racist to raza because they voted the wrong way, I guess you could say, quote unquote. It's negros that you guys are the most racist. You're being so racist right now. You guys are sounding like white fucking rednecks, bro. Black Democrats who are mad at the fact that Hispanics didn't side with them sound like white Republicans who hate people of color, period. But guess what? You got some black jobs now. So hopefully you can fucking do the job like our people do it. Because I don't think you can.
So that's who MAGA is attacking. Bloody mass deportations. That's their agenda right now. They're going to replace those hardworking migrants with who? Red hat.
Inflationary. Now, does it need to happen? Sure. Do we need to know who comes in this country? Sure. I think the dairy industry needs a better H-2A program. The current program allows people to come to the U.S., but then they have to go back home after 6 months. And the program was designed, at least this is the one we have in Washington State, was designed for harvesting of fruits and vegetables.
Hey, how convenient, huh? You come and fucking hire our people and shit, and then you tell them to go back home. Fucking crackers, bro. Y'all are so racist. You don't even realize how racist you sound. I'm glad that your ground is going to be done. Because look, this is just the way it is. I've said it before in other channels. You see, in Deuteronomy 28, there is something called blessings. Right? You know, and there's this thing called curses. So because this is not something that pertains to you as a child of God. This pertains to you because you're a wicked ass fucking hammer that he chose to use. Deuteronomy 28:33 says, the fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt only be oppressed and crushed always. That's not you, okay? That's the land that belonged to our gente, the people that were there at that time. That's the stuff that you took from them. So then what this means is this going to be twofold for you. Because remember, when you throw a stone on somebody, it's going to be twofold to you. Enjoy.
Well, as a dairy farmer, we need them year round. And having somebody work for us for 6 months and then leave again, they're just getting started after 6 months. And so we need to have a longer term work visa. And it would work amazing for some 18-year-old kid, comes to the U.S., he gets a place to live, he makes, $18 an hour, and he works for 5 years, saves up all his money, and after 5 years, he goes back home to Mexico, and he's got a paid-off house.
Yeah.
And it'd be a great program.
So now I want to share this with you right here. This is from the United Farm Workers. To harvest the leeks we enjoy on our Thanksgiving stuffing. Hashtag we feed you.
Let me read that real quick. I should have read that.
This is one.
That. Hold on a second. Come on, bro. What the fuck, man? Fucking hate that it does that shit. I need a better video card. It says United Farm Workers. Sonia labors 8 to 9 hours a day, 5 days a week, kneeling on the damp earth to harvest the leeks we enjoy in our Thanksgiving stuffing. Hey, my mom and my dad worked the fields. And not always, but they did. They worked the flour, mostly. Here in San Diego, And so for me, it's this whole deportation stuff, man. It's just a reminder of 1980, All you guys that really... Whether you voted ignorantly or you voted like with anger and shit, and I just hope that that happens to you like tenfold. And I don't have no sympathy. I hope it happens to you, your kids, your grandkids, your mothers, your father, everybody, all of you guys. The root that you came from or the root that you developed, because it's all rotten. You had no concern for people like that. Like seriously, are you gonna do this shit? Hey, you Morenos are going to do this? You talking all that shit? Like, oh, you Hispanics didn't vote for us. Fuck it, you're going to get deported now. Are you going to do this? You want these as black jobs?
On our Thanksgiving stuffing. Hashtag we feed you. This is Juan. Juan has spent 10 years harvesting sweet potato in California. While the machine picks up most of the vegetables, he often has to get on his knees and dig out the sweet potatoes the machine left behind. He does this up to 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. And again, we're going to get the red hat wearing MAGAs. They're going to be doing this work. Here, play this clip.
You fuckers going to do that? And don't tell me, oh, well, my mama used to do this back in 18. No, shut up. That's not true. That's a lie, too. You guys are weak. You're a weak nation of people. This is who you blamed. This is who you want out. Again, my mom didn't, and my dad didn't work this way, but they work somewhat like this. They work the fields, they work the flour. Not always, but they had to at once, about maybe, let's say, 5-6 years out of their life here in the States. They had to do it. Okay, and most of us like kind of go through that shit. I worked at, fabricas, manufacturing places, you know what I'm saying? So you're going to do it now? You're going to do it? Let's go.
To harvest the leeks we enjoy on our Thanksgiving stuffing. Hashtag we feed you. This is Juan. Juan has spent 10 years harvesting sweet potato in California. While the machine picks up most of the vegetables, he often has to get on his knees and dig out the sweet potatoes the machine left behind. He does this up to 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. And again, we're going to get the red hat wearing MAGAs. They're going to be doing this work. Here, play this clip. What we should be trying to figure out is how we treat these hard-working people who are helping our country with dignity. Farm workers say, these are human beings, damn it. This is Trinidad. She brings different fruits to your table from the state of Washington. She wants the right to work without fear of a bloody mass deportation for her 2 young sons. And as the United Farm Workers say, she's ready to take action and keep pushing ahead. Here she is.
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Trinidad, vivo en el estado de Washington. Yo he trabajado 4 años en el field piscando pera, manzana, cherry, durazno y otras frutas que se dan. La verdad, también me gustaría un día poder arreglar para no tener miedo de que un día nos deporten y que nuestros hijos queden desamparados. Yo tengo 2 niños aquí y vamos adelante, sí se puede.
Here's Guadalupe. She only wants to be able to work without fear of deportation. She says it will take all of us coming together and fighting for immigration reform. Play this clip.
Trabajo en la agricultura en Sunnyside, Washington. Para mí sería un gran logro que nos dieran una reforma migratoria para los agricultores y llegar a nuestra casa sin tener el temor de que migración nos detenga. Así que les pido por favor que nos ayuden a hacer un logro para la reforma y nos ayuden a compartir, a ayudar, a que nos puedan ayudar a los agricultores del campo.
Here's Francisco. He says having protection would be a benefit to all farm workers. Play this clip.
Hola, buenas tardes. ¿Cuál es tu nombre?
Buenas tardes. Francisco Cortés Palacios.
Okay. Buenas tardes. ¿Y cuántos años ha trabajado usted en el campo?
En el campo aproximadamente 19 años.
¿Y qué es lo que ha cosechado?
Lechuga, repollo, cilantro, perejil, espinaca, kale, leek.
Do you guys not realize how like all the shit that you buy at your fucking stores, like all the green organics, you know what I'm saying, at Roots and Whole Foods and all your famous damn organic white stores, this is where it comes from. Are you kidding me, man? Cilantro, leeks, cebolla, bro. What? I'm like, oh my God, man. This pains me so much. You know, I'd never done this channel, never did this channel for the intent to make any kind of benefit or anything. I always done it for the love of my people. And I guess you could say also to express the pain. The shit that you guys don't appreciate whatsoever, or the struggle of just an individual, period, regardless of what he is. Whether he's your raza or not. I pray to God that I never, ever am that way. Anyway, let's continue.
De toda clase de verduras.
Okay. ¿Y qué es un mensaje que usted tendría para el Senado?
Cilantro, perejil, espinaca, kale, leek, de toda clase de verduras.
Okay. ¿Y qué es un mensaje que usted tendría para el Senado cuando se trata de la legalización para todos los campesinos?
Que sería bueno que aprobaran una reforma migratoria para todos los trabajadores del campo.
Okay. Y si eso llegara a pasar, ¿cómo lo afectaría a usted?
¿Afectaría?
Sí, ¿o beneficiaría a usted?
No, pues beneficiaría porque podría uno ir cada año a México a visitar a la familia. Y andaría uno.
You see, this is why it's so painful, because he comes here, like a lot of us have, you know what I'm saying? Come here, work hard for our family, and then for a chance to go see our family. He just said that. He didn't say, oh man, to make some money and go party. Nah, bro. He's on his knees cutting all the greens that are typically at Whole Foods and Roots and all these organic expensive stores for the same people that voted for them to leave. I'm glad that our people are going home. You guys don't deserve this type of love or appreciation or caring of gente, man. Because they don't just do it for the job. They actually like working the fields. A lot of our gente love working the fields. You have to love this. Like, you have to be comfortable with the ground and plants and putting your hand in dirt. There is a concept behind that, which you idiots never have appreciated, which is why you don't belong in this continent, which is why I'm glad things are going to be what they're going to be very soon. So in case you guys missed it, let me remind you what you got rid of. Okay? Just like the scriptures had said in the past that people from afar, from the end of the earth, is going to do what? Deuteronomy 28:33, the fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt only be oppressed and crushed always. Yeah, this is the case right here. This is our land, and look at this. And our sons and daughters are given to them so they can work the fields too. But guess what? They don't give a shit. Well, guess what? Your rodeo is over.
Having protection would be a benefit to all farm workers. Play this clip.
Hola, buenas tardes. ¿Cuál es tu nombre?
Buenas tardes. Francisco Cortés Palacios.
Okay. Buenas tardes. ¿Y cuántos años ha trabajado usted en el campo?
En el campo aproximadamente 19 años.
¿Y qué es lo que ha cosechado?
Lechuga, repollo, cilantro.
Let me say this, okay? For 19 years, this man has gotten up every fucking morning at 4 a.m, most likely. 5 to 9, Monday through Friday, maybe Saturday too. Probably likely. Matter of fact, Monday through Saturday, maybe Sunday. Doing this every minute to make a decent living. This is your enemy right here. This is what you guys said is corrupting your children, putting drugs in their faces, offering them fentanyl. Except, you know, you don't think it had to do anything with Jewish people that own oxycodone? Just saying.
Perejil, espinaca, kale, leek, de toda clase de verduras.
Okay. ¿Y qué es un mensaje que usted tendría para el Senado cuando se trata de la legalización para todos los campesinos?
Que sería bueno que aprobaran una reforma migratoria para todos los trabajadores del campo.
Okay. Y si eso llegara a pasar, ¿cómo lo afectaría a usted?
¿Afectaría?
Sí, ¿o beneficiaría a usted?
No, pues beneficiaría porque podría uno ir cada año a México a visitar a la familia. Y andaría uno más tranquilo aquí.
Hey, worship. I'm sorry, bro, but not everybody's working these fucking fields like this. So, you know, I don't agree with that. That's Adam's curse. Oh, what are you saying? Like everybody's working the fields like him? Only certain people in this continent, in this world, are working fields like this, or have worked fields like this. Not everybody, bro. So you need to be a little bit more clear as to what you mean by Adam. Let's continue.
And here from the apple orchards, here's Elena giving just one example of the real and tangible relief a work permit would.
30 años que no la miro. Trabajo, yo.
Exemptions. Give us, here, play this clip.
Si yo tuviera un permiso de trabajo, yo iría a ver a mi mamá porque tengo como 30 años que no la miro. Y mi mayor ilusión es de ver a mi familia y abrazar a mi mamá.
You know, and this comes at the same, like, we need help.
Si yo tuviera un permiso de trabajo, yo iría a ver a mi mamá porque tengo como 30 años que no la miro. Y mi mayor ilusión es de ver a mi familia y abrazar a mi mamá.
So I think it's about time that we start tackling some scriptures here, because I sometimes think that people forget what the Bible actually says. You know, if you really care about your people, a lot of people show up sometimes at this channel and they say, "Oh yeah, gente." Do you really? Okay, let's embrace this then together. Wisdom of Solomon 18:7. So of thy people was accepted both the salvation of the righteous and the destruction of the enemy. Are you going to accept that? You know, like Revelation 13 and 10, because a lot of Christians don't like this shit. They don't like this. They claim they believe in the Bible. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with a sword. So, once again, Wisdom of Solomon 18:7. So of thy people was accepted both the salvation of the righteous and the destruction of the enemy. If you believe in this book, then you should embrace vengeance. I mean, but what is it that is confusing here? Why do we choose to only embrace the love and not the punishment? Micah 5:15, and I will execute vengeance and anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard. So this right here tells me that that's why you shouldn't have any root of bitterness or fury, but love to your brethren, because it's the Most High that will execute vengeance. Now, it also talks about not having confusion. I mean, unless you just, typically there's certain reasons why people defend the undefensible. Psalms 94:1, O Lord God, to whom vengeance belongeth, O God, to whom vengeance belongeth, show thyself. Let's listen to this real quick.
Incidentally, it's kind of interesting that the U.S. media refused to publish this, but it doesn't go away.
Well, you don't hold the U.S. president...
Violence, terrorist acts, illegal acts constantly. They're both huge nuclear weapon states, and their nuclear armaments are not being considered.
And who exactly are you referring to there?
The United States and Israel, the two major rogue states in the world. I mean, there's a reason why in international polls run by U.S. polling agencies, the main ones, the United States is regarded as the greatest threat to world peace by an overwhelming margin. No other country's even close. Incidentally, it's kind of interesting that the U.S. media refused to publish this, but it doesn't go away.
Well, you don't...
I find that so ironic. Matter of fact, Guaracuya, that you say that, because we do get Christians here that come to this channel and they want to fucking defend the indefensible and shit. And then they have nothing to say about so-called Israel. Y'all stay quiet about it all day, every single day. Let me show you something real quick, okay?
Speak out against the horror of what they've inflicted on the Lebanese people. We Americans
of illegal guns.
Speak out. The Trump administration is inclined to do that. It's stacked its team with very pro-Israeli. Some people call them Zionists, but definitely people who are inclined to give Israel full support. The United States is going to starve it. The Trump administration is inclined to do that. It's stacked its team with very pro-Israeli. Some people call them Zionists, but definitely people who are inclined to give Israel full support. And there is no sympathy lost inside the Trump administration for the ICC. So I don't see that court lasting. I think we are going to see the worst in America as we threaten to arrest people. We may actually arrest some of their judges. We will seek to do financial harm to them and their families. We will harass them. This is what we do. We're a horrible country. I'm sorry. I love my country, but we do horrible things, and this will be us at short of killing people. This will be us at our absolute worst, showing that we have no regard for law, etc. The International Court of Justice is more difficult for us to go after because it is, after all, an extension of the United Nations system. But we will do our best to again put pressure on judges. We have a history of calling judges up and threatening them. That's what we do, and I think we'll do that again. I don't believe that anything that's happening inside Israel is related to these two indictments. These indictments do not resonate within Israel.
Don't hold the U.S. president.
Speak out against the horror of what they've inflicted on the Lebanese people. We Americans claim that we stand for certain things, but when it comes to Israel, we stand for nothing. We are genocidal facilitators. We are the practitioners of mass murder. The bombs being dropped are American-made bombs, and we know what they're going to do with these bombs. We give it to them, and yet we continue to give it to them. We don't do anything to intercede. We lie, we cheat, we steal, and it comes down to Israel. The world has lost faith with Israel. There was a time when the world was willing to turn a blind eye to some of the lesser crimes of Israel, that the world was willing to do. Just right before October 7th of 2023, on September, I think, 9th or 19th, Joe Biden announced a new policy at the G20 summit in India. He said, we're going to implement what's known as the India, Middle East, European Economic Corridor, and that this would redefine the region and elevate Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu came on and gave a presentation where he said that this is the greatest day in modern Israeli history. This is the greatest event because it redefined Israel. It took Israel out of the doldrums where people were, concerned about, the West Bank and everything. But through the Abraham Accord,
How can you defend the indefensible? So this is why, because I think this brother right here you ride with Christians and stuff. I think, I don't know, I may be wrong. But how can you defend the indefensible? Noam Chomsky said it himself, and he's one of them. And he even said it himself. I feel confident saying what I say because you can't change what I am, because society has said that I am who I am. So, if you're a Mexican, that's who you are. Luke 18:6, and the Lord said, hear what the unjust judge saith, and shall not God avenge his own elect? This is why I keep reminding you guys, a lot of times you guys keep thinking about love, but it seems like there is some type of revenge, which we should not take upon ourselves, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them. I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith in the earth? So it still requires that faith. Because just like Wisdom of Solomon 18:17, he's going to look into your spirit. And he's going to determine, are you really about that? Wisdom of Solomon 18:7, so of thy people was accepted both the salvation of righteous and destruction of the enemy. That shit's going to be sealed in your forehead, in your spirit. Or you're going to say, I love everybody, Jesus. I don't care what they did to our brothers and sisters. No, they just didn't know. You know what I mean? They just did. No.
Whoa, absolutely not.
No, because you want to know something? When people are just wicked, bro, you just got to call it for what it is. But you see, this is the problem with you Christians. You guys don't call it for what it is. You're afraid to talk to these people. You're afraid to call these people out.
I don't care. That does not give you the right to theft. That does not give you the right to theft. I got it.
This is illegal. This is illegal.
I don't care. It's mine.
Oh, it is?
Theft is illegal. What you're doing is illegal.
What you're doing is illegal, sir.
Holding a banner is a right of freedom of speech.
No, it's not.
No, you let go. What the hell? You're the one committing theft.
No, you haven't.
Listen, she looks like a demon. Look at her face, bro. Look at her face. Look. Look at her. Damn, she looks like a vampire and shit. Man, I'm actually glad I paused it there. Matter of fact, I'm glad I paused it there. Because I think it's time to bring this one out. A lot of people like to bring the scripture out. I'll just get to the point. 2 Ezra 5:8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and monstrous women shall bring forth monsters. I'm sorry, menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. That's a menstruous woman. They bring forth monsters. I'll show you a little bit of that monsters. Let's go.
Whoa, 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 absolutely not.
I work with the government.
I don't care.
I work with the
That does not give you the right to theft. That does not give you the right to theft.
I
got it.
This is illegal. This is illegal.
I don't care. It's mine.
Oh, this?
Theft is illegal. What you're doing is
Whatever
illegal.
you're doing is illegal, sir.
Holding a banner is a right of freedom of speech.
No, it's not.
No, you let go. What the hell? You're the one committing theft.
No, you have it. Excuse me.
This is okay. Can I have this? Can this be mine?
Yes.
This is mine. I'm holding it. I'm in possession.
Why is it attached to there?
Because it's mine. I can do whatever I want with my property.
No, you cannot. This
You
is your
cannot take
property?
this. Yes.
This is your property?
This is not my property.
This is your property?
This is my property.
Okay, then take your property.
I'm putting it
and
right
leave. Get off this bridge. Get off this bridge.
Ma'am.
This is the city's property.
No.
Yes, it is.
I pay taxes to every place that I go, don't I?
Oh, excuse me.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Absolutely not.
I work with the government.
Damn. They feel desperate, I think. I think they're desperate. I think the spirit of Edom is desperate right now. Revelation 12:10 says this, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now it's come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our God and the power of his Mashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. Verse 12, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down having a great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. Just a short time. Which brings me to this point over here. Isaiah 49, verse 7. It says, the judgment on Edom. Concerning Edom, thus say the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is there wisdom vanished? Just like earlier we were talking about. He'll take away the understanding of people. Pride goeth before destruction. Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan. For I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, and the time that I will visit him, the calamity. First is the mantle anguish, because remember, think about this for a moment, family. Think about this for a moment. Let me not forget my spot. But when you look at Deuteronomy 28, right, it talks about curses that it's going through. Like you see things happening, people show up, and all of a sudden you get enslaved, and you start seeing people get sick, and then verse 28. Deuteronomy 28:28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of the heart. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt only be oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. So here it's talking about you losing your mind. Losing your mind. Remember, it says in the scriptures that he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. And he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. And you that throw a stone upon somebody unrighteously, guess what? That shit's going to be thrown back at you twicefold. Jeremiah 49:8. Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. When? How? If great gatherers come to thee, will they not leave some gleaning grapes? Like for example, when you came to this continent and you just took. He's identifying you here. You're a great gatherer, and you don't leave any behind for nobody. If these by night, will they destroy till they have enough? See? You envious bastards. So much so that you would even pass laws where you'll suffer as long as the other people don't benefit. That's how wicked you are. Your perpetual hatred and your nasty ass nation of spirit deserves what's coming to you. You wanted to get rid of our gente? Hey, well, shit.
But before
oh, bro, you know what I'm saying? Because guess what? You're not ready for the repercussions. Let's continue to this. Let's continue in this vein.
let Professor Wolf go. I know we have like 5. Minutes left with him. So I feel like if we didn't address immigration, supporting the people working, agriculture and food production.
Before I do, let me also say, and maybe I'm wrong here, I hope not. For better or worse, and often it's worse, but sometimes it's better, America is a very religious place. And all of the major religions here, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, they all say that what Allah or God or whatever it is you believe in wants you to do is to welcome the refugee, to open your arms, to open your heart, to give him a meal, to do all the things that the Bible and other holy books tell us to do. I think you're going to see, maybe sooner than you imagine, an immense reaction in this country, which will be driven by a well-deserved guilt on the part of this population for what they are doing. And, I feel that as strongly as I feel the guilt that will descend on the Jewish people for what has happened in Gaza. But putting that aside, here's the economics that you've asked about. The Department of Homeland Security says there's somewhere between 10 and 12 million undocumented immigrants in the United States. So as an economist, let me make one thing clear. We are a rich country of 330 million people. The economic problems we have, which are severe, could not ever have been caused by 10 to 12 of the poorest people on the planet. The notion that the immigrants are a cause of the problems we face is stone cold ridiculous. It may be a clever scapegoating, it may work to get you votes, but it has nothing to do with reality. Number two, there are certain industries that concentrate undocumented immigrants. Agriculture is a big one. The restaurant business is a big one. Yes. Construction is another big one. And then there's a whole host of other industries, but those are the big ones. In those industries, undocumented immigrants are a major part of the labor force. Not only that, they are a more important cause of the profitability in those industries than their mere numbers would tell you. Why? Because an undocumented immigrant can be and is regularly abused by the employer for the obvious reason, which if you have any contact with these folks, they'll tell you 10 different.
Hey, I got a question for you. Because you said all that and I like it, but why did you put China wall scared? Because nobody's talking about walls other than this country here. Let's continue.
Different stories. I've heard them all. It's Friday afternoon. Everybody's going to pick up their check at the front office before they go home. Jose arrives. He stands in line, waits for his check. The boss says, Jose, we've had a terrible week. We didn't make the money. I can't pay you this week. But if you come back next week, I can be sure to pay you. What is Jose going to do? Answer, nothing. He dare not go to any government office because he's an undocumented. He can't show a paper. He can't show a residence allowance, nothing. He's terrified of going anywhere near the labor office. There's nothing he can do. And the employer knows it. The employers look for these people because of this. And I'm not going to take your time and mine to talk about the abuse, sexual and other, that this situation invites in all the ways you don't need me to tell you about. Okay, now let's imagine you deport them. First of all, that costs billions because you're talking about 10 to 12 million people. You have to house them, you have to move them, you have to feed them in the process, you have to deal with the umpteen million lawsuits that will immediately crop up around all of this. This is going to take time and it's going to cost personnel and it's going to be an immense expense. But that's the least of it. Here comes the big one.
And you know what? I'm glad that he said that. And that's the least of it. Because here in America, they could prop up a bunch of dollars all day left and right. Yes, that's the least of it. We saw the brother that was on his knees cutting up all those greens. The ones that people wonder how the hell they get there. They probably never do, by the way. But somebody has to get down there. A machine cannot do it that way. because you have to be very careful. And you have to collect and wrap it up. You can't just like cut it and then just throw it. Like it'll take too long to sort out. You didn't think this through, did you? Eat them.
Every one of those industries is a crucial player in the inflation level of the United States. Who's going to pick the lettuce? Who's going to pick the fruit? Who's going to do all that work? Who's going to clean the dishes in the back of the restaurant? Who's going to clean up at the end, the evening when the patrons of the restaurant go home? Well, the answer is either close the restaurant, and that has economic consequences, or you close the farms, and that's really not an option, or you're going to have to hire Americans. And Americans won't be afraid to go to the labor office if you don't pay them. So you're going to actually have to pay them. And you're probably going to have to pay them a good bit more than the immigrant for all the reasons you normally pay immigrants less than native workers, which means the cost structure of these industries is going to take off. And you know what they're all going to do, those employers? They're going to raise their prices. They're going to want to do that to recapture the extra costs that will come. And the government has not proposed anything that will substitute here. I've heard one professor tell me, oh, we don't have to worry, AI will take care of this. You know what AI does? It makes people like you and me superfluous. But are we ready to go and wash dishes at the back of the restaurant? Are we ready to pick apples? Really? You're gonna cause social upheaval. You're gonna cause inflation. Mr. Trump can't do that.
And I'm so glad that he said, are we ready to pick apples? Are we ready to go do that? Well, guess what? I'm going to say something to some of you guys that don't know this. A lot of our people that came in the 80s, 70s, 90s, they were highly educated. Doctors, lawyers, you know what I'm saying? That they couldn't get jobs because the shit was bad. And they ended up working these things. That's something you guys didn't know that. You guys didn't know. So, your anger is so perpetual. It's so horrible. It's so distasteful. It's just sad. Psalms 143:4 says, therefore is my spirit overwhelmed within me. My heart within me is desolate. See, because there's such a thing as your mind being desolate, destroyed. There is such a thing. That's why when we read in Jeremiah 49 and we read in other parts of regarding desolation, several books say that. Matter of fact, let's go back to Jeremiah just to be safe. Let's see if it's in there again, because I don't remember if it was. 49:7, it says, yep. Not necessarily desolate, but it's talking about no more wisdom. Wisdom perish, or the prudent men, no more. Look at how they're thinking. You guys hate our people that much that you're not even thinking straight. It's like, wait, hold on a second. You're going to destroy your economy. I don't care. I hate Mexicans. Therefore, Psalms 143:4. Therefore is my spirit overwhelmed within me. My heart within me is desolate. There is such a thing as being a desolate mind. So, since you guys want to get rid of the Mexicans, are you educated kids or older men ready to work? I hope so. I mean, shit, let's see. I don't know. Bro, I appreciate you putting this message, by the way, brother.
Hello, it's your favorite president. Now that I made all our deportation dreams come true, we reclaimed every single job that was taken by illegal immigrants. And let me tell you, folks, there were so many. I call them brown jobs. Jobs we were born to do and do what Americans do best.
I carry this old guy to the bathroom about 3 times a day. I gotta go.
And now America can get back to work like it's never done before.
I used to stay home and watch Real Housewives, but now I got to work 3 shifts in a row.
I hate other people's children.
poop.
So let's get busy, America. Go do all those brown jobs you wanted so much.
Let's go, ladies. Those beds won't change themselves. Uno, dos, tres.
And show the rest of the world what we are made of. Look at me, I'm doing a brown job too.
This shit was funny, bro. Hold on. That shit was funny, but you know what? This is the reality, bro.
Once you've found
the reality, because
the
you
right
know, a lot of times you guys want to go blame our people about evil, wicked shit, and you know it's not like that. You guys caused this on your own. You want to blame some people for your own demise, which you implemented on your own people. You are the wicked ass people. Edom. You are the desolate mind. You are the desolate mind. That's why I showed you here in scripture that there is such a thing as my heart within me is desolate. Deuteronomy 28:28 says the same thing that happened to us. It's going to happen to you. And the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of the heart. Desolate. Effed up in the head. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt only be oppressed and spoiled evermore. You asked for it. You got it.
Once you've found the right doctor and have told him or her about your pain, don't be afraid to take what they give you. Often, it will be an opioid medication. Some patients may be afraid of taking opioids because they're perceived as too strong or addictive. But that is far from actual fact. Less than 1% of patients taking opioids actually become addicted. And any drowsiness that might occur when you start to take the medication will soon wear off in most patients.
Okay. If that's true, then why can't this happen?
This dot represents 10 people. And this dot represents 100 people. In 2015, this many died from gun violence in America. This many died in car crashes. But even more Americans died from a drug overdose. 52,000 people. That's more people than there are seats at Yankee Stadium. More people are dying because of the opioid epidemic, a public health crisis that is causing waves of progressive drug use. First, Americans got hooked on prescription painkillers. Next, addicted users moved on to more potent drugs, like heroin. Now, an increasing number of Americans are overdosing on an even more powerful.
So the question is here again, what started this all? What started this all? Let's watch this real quick. Let's just see what started this all.
Since I've been on this new pain medication, I have not missed one day of work, and my boss really appreciates that. Lauren is there every day.
That's when pharmaceutical companies began advertising new opioids that were supposedly non-addictive.
But these are the same drugs that have a reputation for causing addiction and other terrible things. They do not have serious medical side effects, and so these drugs, which I repeat are our best, strongest pain medications, should be used much more than they are for patients in pain.
American doctors started prescribing opioids like Oxycontin, Percocet, and Vicodin at record numbers, and overdoses began spiking. In the 2000s.
Okay, so when did overdoses start spiking? Was it fentanyl? But you know, but hold on a second. I want to say this. In case y'all don't know, that alcohol kills 150,000 people a year. Of the ism of like chronic drinking, dissolves their organs, causes accidents. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff. Mental deterioration. I'm not lying. This is true. Even back then. But never will you see a report or anybody caring for that. But again, let's analyze the whole desolation of the mind of Edom. That's why I call this class the Midas touch. Listen, family, I mean, there is a purpose behind why I do what I do. An American Midas touch. Yeah, you touched everything at first that turned into gold, but then now everything you touch that turns into gold is killing you because you can't even eat that shit no more. And you're killing your own people over gold. The Midas touch. Continue with the Midas touch.
The government took steps to limit the supply of prescription pills. Pharmaceutical manufacturers were sued for falsely marketing their products as non-addictive. Doctors were prosecuted for overprescribing pain pills, and authorities tightened limits on painkillers. By 2013, prescription drug abuse leveled off as pills became harder to find. But that didn't help Americans who were already hooked.
See, okay, so now that we get that concept, now we know. Okay, so what occurred there? What transpired? What shifted? What moved? Check this out.
We have
Let's
new
see.
reporting this evening on America's opioid crisis. The major drug maker, Purdue Pharma, in talks to potentially settle more than 2,000 lawsuits. And for the first time, we're now hearing from the former head of Purdue Pharma on why he says you can't blame their marketing. Here's ABC's Steve Osunsami.
Purdue Pharma is facing more than 2,000 lawsuits related to opioid deaths and addictions. And tonight there's word the drug maker is offering to pay billions of dollars in settlements. In a statement, the company explains that while Purdue Pharma is prepared to defend itself vigorously in the opioid litigation, it sees little good coming from years of wasteful litigation and appeals.
Do you believe Purdue's marketing was overly aggressive?
No. For the first time, we're hearing sworn testimony from former chairman and president Dr. Richard Sackler. Members of his family own the company, which made billions developing and selling OxyContin. According to the government, it's one of the most common painkillers involved in prescription opioid deaths in America.
You know.
See? Where was the uproar? Why come you don't call Jewish people terrorists? I mean, he's Jewish. I mean, shit, isn't that what you're doing? You're labeling Hispanics as terrorists because as soon as you say that Hispanics are transporting illegal drugs and their cartel, then that means Hispanics are terrorists, just like you call Hamas terrorists, but then you don't say just Hamas, you call Palestinians terrorists. You see, family, how they're trying to blur the imagery of your image? Wake the fuck up.
Know whether OxyContin is more powerful or less powerful a drug than morphine?
Depends what you mean by powerful. If powerful means potency, absolutely. It is twice as potent as morphine.
The clips were released by the investigative news group ProPublica. They come from a lawsuit filed by the state of Kentucky in 2007.
Purdue fought very hard.
Twice as strong as morphine, but you realize that it says that it's only 1% of potential of addiction? Ooh.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
And the Sackler family fought very hard to keep this deposition secret.
Under oath, Sackler said it was wrong to blame the opioid crisis on their marketing. But the company ended up settling, paying more than $20 million.
All right. We get the picture. We get the picture of what's going on, okay? All right. So then how come and why is this the obvious?
It was the pill that revolutionized the way we live with pain.
I'm as dependent on OxyContin as I am on my glasses to see.
So out here, it was a revolution driven by a marketing campaign that targeted our doctors.
People who are hurting are desperate because of the lack of anything else to offer them.
We now spend more than $10 billion a year on treatment with narcotic pain pills.
I went from spending probably 4 of 7 days in bed to being a mom again.
And we're spending hundreds of millions more on the addictions that the pain pills cause.
I think a huge cat has been let out of the bag, and I don't think it's going to be put back in.
And that's exactly true. It's not going to be put back in. You asked for it. You wanted it. You demanded it. You went all the way with it. You had no Matter of fact, you have to understand, you that claim to know the Bible or believe in it, that if you are, I mean, I don't know, you have to really ask yourself, if you don't really see current event situation or history with the Bible. If you think it's just an imaginary situation, then maybe this probably is not going to make sense for you. Here, let me look for this real quick because I think I lost it. Hold on. Yep, that's it. Jeremiah 49:17. Sorry, let me just read this real quick because I kind of almost lost my train of thought. Also, Edom shall be a desolation. You see? The heart desolate. Every one that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. Like we saw just now, a video. A pretty harsh video of what it means to be plagued. Like this stuff is really going on out there in the streets. Let me see if I can get to it real quick. If not, I'll just show it real quick. Look.
And we're spending hundreds of millions more.
Look at that. You're watching by Edom desolating itself. Everyone that goeth by it is astonished, shall be astonished and hiss at all the plagues thereof. As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall the Son of Man dwell in it. Meaning when it's over, it's over. And when I talk about the desolation of the mind, it has everything to do with the desolation of the mindset. Look at this. Think about this for a moment, family. I wanted to show this. Look, this is the sad shit. This oxycodone salesman of the year doesn't regret his work. He's proud of the fact that he was a top salesman to get that many people addicted and dead.
In Washington, the White House and the National Safety Council unveiled a traveling memorial to victims of the opioid epidemic. It's called Prescribed to Death, and it depicts the faces of 22,000 people who died from using prescription opioids in 2015. The crisis has its roots in the late 90s, when drug companies like Purdue Pharma started aggressively marketing opioids to treat chronic pain. OxyContin has been a huge moneymaker for Purdue, but in February, the company announced it would stop promoting it to doctors. Vice News spoke with one former Purdue sales rep, who's now a chronic pain patient himself.
See, they spoke to this guy, and he is the salesman of the year. Seriously, man. How desolate in the mind are you to even want to fucking show your face to do that? I don't understand. But is that to be proud of? You destroyed a lot of your people and a lot of other people. Psalms 143:4. Therefore is my spirit overwhelmed within me. My heart within me is desolate. Yeah. It's real. That is real. So now we can see what Jeremiah is talking about. Jeremiah 49:17 says, also Edom shall be a desolation. Every one that goeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, say the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. Behold, he shall come up like a lion for the swelling of Jordan against the habitation of the strong. But I will suddenly make him run away from her. And who is a chosen man that I will appoint over her? For who is like me? And who will appoint me the time? And who is the shepherd that will stand before me? Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord. That he had taken against Edom. And his purpose, that he had purposed against the inhabitants of Teman, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. It talks about a desolation. Now, a lot of times we think that it has to do only with land. It doesn't start in the land. It starts in the mind. Look, I'll show you. I'll show you something. I had this video to show you guys, right? And check this out. They took it off. Okay? They took this video off because apparently this is too embarrassing for them. Luckily, hold on. No, that's not the one. Luckily, I had recorded the videos before. And if you guys remember, I showed you guys one of them. Let me see if I can get this other one real quick. If not, I can just move on. I don't want to take too much time on this one. Nah, it's okay. It's okay. It's going to take too long. I should have saved it before. I honestly forgot about it. I just wrote it down and I forgot about it. The point I'm trying to make is how I think even within themselves, they understand what is about to occur. 2nd Ezra 15:1. I mean, apparently they should, right? I mean, they claim they read the Bible. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put out in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. For fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. Now, I do want to say this to brothers that I'm sure it is fearful to hear what's going on. But then again, you do have to have faith in the Lord. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For the wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. See? I think after some time, you start realizing that, there is such a thing as, like, he does hear you. I know a lot of us sometimes think that he does not. Verse 8, I will hold my tongue and no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. Now, I read that because there has been so many of our brothers and sisters that have crossed the border, like in Arizona and all those dangerous areas, and nobody picked their bodies up. You don't think at one point they got injured or bleeding to death, or maybe they got attacked by an animal? You guys don't care about that shit. Nobody has thought. I'm sure hopefully some of you guys do.
We're still talking about.
Hopefully some of you guys do, man. Let's listen to this real quick. I think this is important at this time because you want to know something? I have gotten to because even my wife says, like, man, like, she's seen me really in pain, right? So, you have to filter this. You have to know, like, how to maneuver this, what you're seeing, what you're experiencing, what you're reading, and how history repeats itself, and it's like right in your face again, and the Bible's talking right in your face again and smacking you right in your face again. You know what I'm saying? So, you have to learn how to how to really handle all this, man. And you're having children and you're responsible for other people too, Man, I just had to fuck, dude. You guys are just wicked ass people, man. I just had to laugh at that shit. I just had to laugh at it. Like, bro, y'all are just fucking wicked. 2nd Ezra 15:6, for wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hateful works are fulfilled. That's just it. Just, man, fuck. Wow, y'all just a wicked ass people. To be that hateful. Okay, so here, this is what I don't like. So check, for example. Somebody was, I don't know why you don't show up on this other side. Says his name is Chief. Jesus is God. Okay, so what the fuck does that even mean? What does that even mean, Chief? You're gonna celebrate Christmas this December 25th. That's not even in the Bible. So what God and what Jesus are you worshiping? Jesus is God. What do you mean? So when he's praying at the cross and he's dying and like, God, why did you forsake me? What is he, a schizo? And he was telling himself, Jesus, God within myself. Why did you forgive myself? Christians are schizos. Stop it, bro. Stop it. Let's continue.
About the Trump cabinet. And Mo, you just wrote a piece in the American Prospect about Donald Trump's cabinet picks. I'm going to affectionately call
Gang
it
of rapists.
like the Doris Kearns Goodwin book, Team of Rapists. Because, in addition to their dog-like loyalty to Donald Trump, it seems like even among the lesser-known nominees, it seems like sexual assault charges or worse seems to be a common denominator among all of them.
And that's another point. Like, for example, you got people that show up like Jesus is God and pro Trump, bro. Yeah, picked all the people that abuse children or women or young women or are constant adulterers. And no, the Mashiach is not God. You're in the wrong channel, worship. And you're not. Don't try to convince nobody here. It's worthless. It's a waste of your time. But we do speak truth here, so if that's what you want to learn, then stick around. Let's go.
I want to begin with Matt Gaetz because he has withdrawn his nominee now. After resigning from Congress to be Attorney General, he's now withdrawn his nomination and is going to be replaced by this woman, Pam Bondi. Mo, who I know you know about, and I'd like to talk about Pam Bondi, but I just like to talk about Gaetz for a second. I think we got to begin with Gaetz. And I will certainly say, under no circumstances do you have to hand it to him. However, he has ensured that every Venmo transaction I make from now until I die, the subject line will be being awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's funny to be like a soy groomer.
I mean,
oh my God, you're 17? Ah.
The thing about Gaetz is that, so obviously Gaetz has a lot of like fans, people who are like, well, he's really good on antitrust, but
by the way, this is sarcasm for me. I'm actually joking on this shit because, quite frankly, this is the people that got picked supposedly because they were Christians. Do you know what I'm saying? Supposedly. I mean, for like this guy he's a Christian too, like salesman of the year. Yeah, I got everybody on oxycodone. Hey! But I go to church every Sunday, and I celebrate Christmas too. And
it's your favorite president.
I get gifts. Now I get gifts from my family too. Let's go back to it. 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 41. Fire and hail and flying swords and many waters, that all fields may be full and all rivers with the abundance of great waters. And they shall break down the cities and walls, mountains and hills, trees of the woods and grass of the meadows and their corn. And they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon and make her afraid. Now, why am I reading that? Sometimes we don't think that, oh no, America is going to be an everlasting country. Verse 44, they shall come to her and besiege her, the star and all the wrath. That star right there, by the way, isn't a typical star. And all the wrath they pour out upon her. Then shall the dust and smoke go up unto the heaven, and all they that be about her shall bewail her. This is when the destruction comes about. This is why that video that I was trying to show you, they didn't want me to show you. Apparently they're afraid. Apparently they're afraid. I'm not. It's crazy. You know what? If I would have done this class on Friday, that thing was still up. Those videos were still up. Maybe it's the Most High. I don't know. But I find it so interesting that they would really take that off. Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Remember, virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of Chaldean. So the daughter of Babylon is the daughter of the Chaldeans. You're talking about a what? Another generation, another kingdom, but with the same space, same spirit. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Then here we get into the verses that tell her basically, listen, I'm gonna expose your ass. I'm gonna expose you right now. Verse 3, I'll skip it. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So, you guys that wonder, son of man, that, yeah, he's not going to meet them as a man again. Isaiah 46:9. Let's go to it real quick. Remember the former things of old, for I am God and there is none else. I am God. Remember, it's G-O-D. And there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning and from the ancient of times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure. Now, this is the most interesting part that I like about the scriptures here, because it says, calling a ravenous bird from the east. The man that executeth my counsel from a far country. Yea, I have spoken it. I will also bring it to pass. I have purposed it. I will also do it. Now, we're talking about what? What nation? What are we talking about? Check this out. Because I think, me personally, this whole talk about going to war with Mexico is going to bring upon W3, I think, me personally, and it's going to bring upon those people from the East. I'm going to show you why they are claiming this type of attitude towards Mexico. It has nothing to do with the fentanyl family. It's got nothing to do with fentanyl. Check it out.
Donald Trump pidió a sus asesores que le presenten opciones militares, así lo dijo, para atacar y enfrentar a los cárteles mexicanos en caso de que resulte electo como presidente.
Ningún gobierno extranjero se atrevería a poner un pie en nuestro territorio. Nosotros no recibimos órdenes de nadie. Si lo hicieran, no van a defender a México solo los marinos y los soldados. Vamos a defender a México todos los mexicanos. Aquí manda el pueblo de México.
So they have an agreement, in case you guys don't know. In case you guys don't know. You'd be surprised at stuff that are being made or decisions that are being made. That's why when you study the scriptures and you pay attention to politics, and not just locally, you look at the actual politics across the world pertaining to your, situations, I think it'll start making a lot more sense. I'll be honest, man. I wish I would have paid attention more in school. Isaiah 47:5, it says, sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldean. Remember, daughter of the Chaldean. daughter of the Chaldean. You know the four kingdoms. Where did the first kingdom come out of? Exactly. But it's the same spirit, the same teaching. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy upon the ancients. Thou hast verily laid thy yoke. You haven't cared. Not even a little bit. Yeah, let me see if this is the video. I think I might have put it in the wrong place. Give me a second.
Así fue como el miserable
Yeah, check it out.
expresidente de España.
Even since they left, they still talk the same way. This is the old president of Spain, like making fun of or mocking the president of Mexico because he's like, oh, he's native of this, native of that, Spaniard of this, Spaniard of that. You're a mutt. Basically, you're a mutt. Listen.
Así fue como el miserable expresidente de España insulta a México refiriéndose de forma racista a los mexicanos y al presidente López Obrador.
Yo me llamo Andrés Manuel López Obrador. Andrés por parte de los aztecas, Manuel por parte de los mayas.
Y un paso atrás, México es un país independiente, no es colonia de ningún país extranjero. Y el presidente de México no es títere, no es pelele de ningún gobierno del exterior.
Lo que no sabe este miserable es que aquí en México nos sentimos orgullosos de nuestras raíces indígenas, de nuestras culturas. Y lo que no sabe es que por historia...
Hey, by the way, I do want to say this. I've noticed more people using this video here. And in case you guys don't know this shit came out of here. Nobody had this video until I introduced it. I don't think you guys understand this. This video right here. You see, and I find it funny that all of a sudden they have it in like the John Louisiana, whatever his name is, and all that. But it's okay. Listen, I don't care. I don't need the credit. I'm just saying. I just find it funny that it's being used, and you know what I mean. Like nobody knows about this channel. I'm just saying though. You know what I mean?
culturas, y lo que no sabe es que por historia somos hijos de dioses. Que viva México. Así fue.
He's got a point though. He's got a point. Now, I do want to say this because I think this is important, and it comes to the blessings and the curses. I think that these things are starting, I don't want to say starting to turn around, but I think they're going to be progressively turning, and then the bam. So we know that in Deuteronomy 28:33, the fruit of thy land and the labor and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knoweth not eat up, and thou shalt only be oppressed and crushed always. I'm not saying that it's completely changing, but I think that as more of us start understanding who we are according to the Bible and following what it's asking us to do, it's helping our people think a little bit more different. I could be wrong, but I don't know. Here's why I say this. Check this out.
Senadores estadounidenses.
Hey, chill out. Hold on a second.
están furiosos con México porque el presidente López Obrador les expropiará minas ubicadas en Quintana Roo de la empresa Vulcan Materials, las cuales se les fueron otorgadas dichas minas gracias a los gobiernos neoliberales. Y durante más de 20 años estuvieron explotando las minas y llevándose todo el recurso para construcciones a Estados Unidos, dejando a su paso un ecocidio en la selva maya.
Esta empresa Vulcan, en complicidad con las anteriores autoridades mexicanas, destruyó nuestro territorio. Llevaron a cabo un ecocidio. No podemos permitir eso.
López Obrador les dejó muy claro que clausurará esas minas y las declarará como área natural protegida, así evitando que ninguna empresa nacional o extranjera explote ningún recurso en esa selva.
Like before, where it was just like, you know, they could do as they wish. That's not happening anymore. Let me show you exactly what's going on now. This is AMLO, who was the ex-president, but it's still continuing. They thought that it was going to change with this new president. But apparently not. Let's continue.
Pero eso no es todo. Ahora resulta en la mañanera que estos de Calica que estaban pasándose de lanzas, ¿no? El caso ya lo conocemos, que estaban destruyendo, llevándose pedazos de nuestra patria a Estados Unidos, violando la Constitución. Obrador dijo, esta es área natural protegida, y háganle como quieran. Pensaron los gringos, entrando Claudia, no, pues la vamos a aflojar. El primer calambre la señora se va a doblar, ¿no? Porque pensaron que por ser mujeres, no, hombre. Al contrario, le salió la chuleta con hueso. No, hombre, le puso, pero brava. Dijo, miren, les voy a explicar lo de Calica más a fondo. Estos señores están tomando más terreno del que son propietarios. Están sobreexplotando, no tienen permisos, están violando las leyes. No, hombre, no.
So now, that's one point. Now, why do you guys think that these people want to go to war with Mexico? I'm going to tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why right now. Right now, I'm gonna tell you why. Check this out. Elon Musk said this a while back. He said another government stimulus package is not in the best interest of the people. Another government stimulus package, even though his company was funded by the government. When nobody knew what he was able to do, they had to get funded by the government. Do you understand that? Now it says here, you know what wasn't in the best interest of the people? The U.S. government organizing a coup against Evo Morales in Bolivia so you can obtain the lithium there. Elon Musk said this, we will coup whoever we want. Deal with it. This is what this fucking South African piece of shit bastard said. So then what does he say in another post? What year is this? I don't know. We love Africa. Which I think I think he looks Asian. But anyways, none of my business. It says if there's like entrepreneurs out there that want to have like a guaranteed chance of success, it would be refining lithium. It's a no-brainer. So who is this piece of shit? This piece of shit right here, Elon Musk, did not found Tesla, nor did he invent the car. Remember this. Tesla was founded and built originally by Martin Eberhard and Mark Tappernin, whatever. Elon Musk isn't why SpaceX is successful. The rockets are. The genius designers of those rockets are Tom Mueller. I'm sorry. So Tom Mueller is the designer of those rockets. Elon Musk, fucking idiot from South Africa, the illegal alien who is here on chances because he has money, even though he broke the law by working here without having papers, is not a genius. No, hell no. He invented nothing. No, fuck no. He passes like he's like some type of autistic dumbass. No, he's not autistic. Trust me, he's just a dumbass. Elon is just good at finding opportunity and stealing the credit when he buys his ways. So this is why they want to go to war with Mexico. I'll tell you why. I'm going to show you why. No, wait, that's not the one I want. This is the one I want.
Senador
Hold on a second. Is this it? Bro, what's going on with this stuff here?
Estadounidenses están gracias a los Unidos dejando
No,
su
that's
paso
not it
un
either.
ecocidio en la selva maya.
Hold on. Shut up. That's not it. Okay, here's the reason why. So Elon Musk, as you can tell, I think he bought himself the election. And he bought himself the election because he does not want competition. You know what I'm saying? He wants the lithium for himself. Now, why? Because this is what Mexico just ended up doing. And this is why they want to come into Mexico. It has nothing to do with the drugs. So, Mr. White Man, Mr. Black Man, you so-called Americans from the North, you think you know your politics. You don't know shit. This is why they want to go to war with Mexico. Listen in.
Tiembla Tesla con esta noticia. Ahora resulta que el gobierno de Claudia Sheinbaum fabricará automóviles eléctricos para los mexicanos.
Produciremos elolínea, que significa moverse en náhuatl. Un pequeño auto de acceso popular, 100% eléctrico, 100% diseñado por jóvenes mexicanos y mexicanas y ensamblado totalmente en nuestro país.
Esto sería un gran avance para México en cuanto a tecnología, para demostrar el talento y trabajo de los mexicanos. Esto nos convertiría en un país clave y estratégico a nivel mundial.
Haremos de México una potencia científica y de la innovación. Para ello apoyaremos las ciencias básicas, naturales y las humanidades.
I'm going to play that one more time for the people in the back so you can understand what it's saying. Designing, building, manufacturing, and only developing in Mexico electric cars with unlimited lithium and top-notch design from Mexican students or young men and women with obviously the assistance of other nations. And as you can tell that, what is that? The company from China, they're top-notch with their electric cars. So now you know why Donald Trump threatened the BRICS. Mexico is going to join them. It's a threat to them. W3 is coming soon. It's going to be right next door. I've never been that blunt about saying stuff like that, but I can rest assured that that's what's going to happen. I mean, there's no other way to see it anymore. There's no other way to see it. If I'm wrong, then I was never meant to send a message. Let's continue.
Tiembla Tesla con esta noticia. Ahora resulta que el gobierno de Claudia Sheinbaum fabricará automóviles eléctricos para los mexicanos.
Produciremos elolínea, que significa moverse en náhuatl. Un pequeño auto de acceso popular, 100% eléctrico, 100% diseñado por jóvenes mexicanos y mexicanas y ensamblado totalmente en nuestro país.
Esto sería un gran avance para México en cuanto a tecnología, para demostrar el talento y trabajo de los mexicanos. Esto nos convertiría en un país clave y estratégico a nivel mundial.
Haremos de México una potencia científica y de la innovación. Para ello apoyaremos las ciencias básicas, naturales y las humanidades.
They say that there was this agreement back, those tratados de Bucareli or some shit like that didn't allow Mexico to develop. There was like an agreement because typically the gringo likes that. You guys never played fair. You never played fair. It never is going to be fair with you guys. You guys want agreements, but then you want agreements that you can break because when you're losing, you want to break them. Jeremiah 15:1, it says, the word that the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldean by Jeremiah the prophet. Now remember, keep that in mind, it's the same spiritual nation of people, but the same doctrine, the same economic standard. In case you guys don't know, that Nimrod was the first one to create capitalism. They called it money magic. Declare ye among the nations and publish and set it a standard. Publish and conceal it not. Say, Babylon is taken. Baal, your God, is confounded. Your doctrine. Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her. Where is that at? We talk about Russia. Which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein, and they shall depart, both man and beast. I don't know. But it's pretty scary because you guys picked a particular individual that
trolling us.
I think he works for him. Me personally, I think this guy works for you know who. But don't quote me on it.
So hard right now. So apparently, Mr. I want to put a chip in your brain and connect you to artificial intelligence, which he admits is summoning a demon.
The artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, you sure you can control the demon? Doesn't work out.
As well as being the same guy who likes to dress up in a Baphomet costume with a upside down cross on the back, just reached the title of the top Diablo 4 player in the world. You can't make this up. And I tell you what, he has been on a rampage lately with what he has been posting and reposting on X. Right here, he is talking about how America is the new Rome. All roads truly do lead back to Rome. He's also adding fuel to the fire about the whole P. Diddy situation. And he continues to post about aliens right here. Citizens of Earth, give us your memes. Oh, and if that was not enough, Time magazine calls Elon Musk a kingmaker. And I guess it's just a coincidence how the name Donald means world ruler, or king of the world. And isn't it just lovely how Mr. Chippy Chippy in your brain and Mr. Jabby Jabby in your arm have been hanging out together, just best buds, and Elon Musk posting this while he was at Mar-a-Lago, from sea to lake, like from the sea to the lake of fire. Novus Ordo Secularum, the new order of the ages. Please do not drink the Kool-Aid. These guys right here are complete wolves in sheep clothing. Let me remind you of 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14. And no wonder, for Satan himself transforms himself into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers, his children, his workers, also transform themselves into ministers of righteousness. And we can see the prophecy in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 5, how these individuals in the end times, they will have a form of godliness, but denying its power. And this is also why Jesus warns us in Matthew 24, the greatest sign of the end of the age and his coming will be deception. Take heed that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name. They will say, I am a Christian. I believe in Jesus. But they will deceive many. This right here is the false light deception, the Luciferian Hegelian dialectic. And we have Judas goats who have crept in and are leading the herd to slaughter. And please remember, there's 3 types of people in this world. There's predators, there's prey, and then there's the protectors. Now be on guard and do not forget how the predators like to roam around in a pack. They like to roam around in a pack. But to those who have eyes to see and ears to hear, you are called for a higher calling of being a watchman or a watchwoman, being a protector, willing to lay your life down for the flock. And our ultimate duty as protectors for God's flock is to point them all to the true shepherd.
Hey, that's pretty crazy that the brother will be revealed gave me that scripture earlier, man, because that's kind of relates to it. So let me show this to you guys real quick, and I'm going to finish it off like that. I was going to think about going a little longer, but I do have something to take care of right now. So forgive me, family. But you know what? Hopefully it was edifying, man. And I'm going to show you this video and then another one, and then we're going to move on. I mean, not move on, but, we're going to close it out, okay? So I'll play some music after this, and then we'll be set. I just want to show this to you guys. I think this is... I don't know, man. You guys that claim to be Christians and believe in the Bible and claim that those people are really the Israelis. After everything you read and you still believe that, then there's something wrong with you. Sincerely. Let's go.
Army raping children.
Our protection teams are working with children released from the Israeli military detention system. These children report sexual violence, including rape. They report being denied food, beaten and attacked by dogs. They report seeing their parents stripped and beaten in front of them. These children are struggling to cope with the profound trauma and mental and physical harm that this has caused.
That was the testimony from a doctor in Gaza who leads Save the Children's health unit. And yet this isn't the first time that the rape of Palestinian children by Israeli forces has been reported.
I was part of the human rights vetting process for arms going to Israel, and a charity called Defense of Children International Palestine drew our attention at the State Department to the sexual assault, actually the rape of a 13-year-old boy that occurred in an Israeli prison in the Mosque in Jerusalem. We examined these allegations. We believed they were credible. We put them to the government of Israel. And you know what happened the next day? The IDF went into the DCIP offices and removed all their computers and declared them a terrorist entity.
In response to the rape allegations in 2021, Israeli authorities shut down a Palestinian NGO after it reported allegations to the US State Department that Israeli forces had raped a Palestinian boy.
To the occupied West Bank, where a video has surfaced showing Israeli forces assaulting a child in a shop in Hebron. This happened 2 weeks ago, but we're getting the video now. Soldiers can be seen attacking the boy, forcing him to take off his top, apparently because it had a gun printed on the shirt.
Israel has a long history, prior to the 7th of October, of systematically holding Palestinian children captive.
One of them caught me, hit me on my chest with the butt of his rifle. He pushed me to the ground and then all started beating me. They arrested me and took me into detention and beat me again and cursed at me.
More than 700 arrests of children have been documented since the 7th of October. A July 2023 Save the Children report revealed that before the 7th of October, Palestinian children arrested by Israeli forces endured severe emotional and physical abuse, with 86% beaten and 69% strip searched.
Okay. So, anyways, the last video I'm gonna show y'all, it's about this young girl that she was 5 years old, I believe. She was stuck in a car. I'm gonna show you what she looks like. I don't know, man. When I read these things and I get upset. I get upset at other nations, but I don't have hate like this. This little girl right here. She was murdered, basically. She was defenseless. Her. So she was defenseless. Her. So let me play the video. They did a AI on it. And I think this is probably the best way to express to you like how it's if you're a Christian and you believe these people are the people of the book, and if they are, guess what? Then I want nothing to do with that God. I'll say it. I'll be the first one to say it. Anyways, after this, family, you guys take care, man. This is sad. But either way, hopefully it was edifying, because I think sometimes these things have to be brought to your attention. I wish I could give you more, but I do have to take care of some stuff. I think what I'll do is I'll try to continue the class, call it part 2, because I did leave some stuff out, but hopefully this makes sense. Good night.
الدبابة وين؟ جنبية. الدبابة جنبكم؟ عم تتحرك ولا واقف؟ نزل حدا منها؟ هي بتتحرك. بتتحرك؟ ميتين. ميتين؟ وهم هلا معك بالسيارة؟ انت هلا وين متخبية هلا؟ وين انت هلا محمية؟ بالسيارة. جوا السيارة انت صح؟ مش برا السيارة؟ صح. طب خليكي يا عمري بالسيارة، انا رح اتمني فاتحة الخط معاكي، اتمني احكي معك، ما بدي اسكر التليفون، تمام؟ ايش يا عمري؟ يا حبيبتي يا عمري والله معك، هيني انا مش تاركك بحكي معاكي، ما بدي اصلا اتركك. حبيبتي والله لو بايدي لاذيكي. نحكي يا الله يا رب تحمينا. يا رب تحمينا.
¡Oh, yeah! Huasteca, qué linda eres. ¡Oh, qué bonitos ojos tiene debajo de esas dos cejas, debajo de esas dos cejas. Qué bonitos ojos tiene. Ellos me quieren mirar, pero si tú no los dejas, pero si tú no los dejas, ni siquiera parpadear. Malagueña salerosa, besar tus labios quisiera, besar tus labios quisiera, malagueña salerosa, y decirte, niña hermosa, eres linda y hechicera, eres linda y hechicera como el candor de una rosa. Oh, yeah. Opa.
Así mero,
con tus ojos me anunciabas que me amabas tiernamente, que me amabas tiernamente. Con tus ojos me anunciabas, ingrata me traicionabas cuando de ti estaba ausente, cuando de ti estaba ausente. De mi pasión te burlaba, malagueña salerosa, besar tus labios quisiera, besar tus labios quisiera, malagueña salerosa, y decirte, niña hermosa, eres linda y hechicera, eres linda y hechicera como el candor de una rosa, como el candor de una rosa.
¿Qué opinaron los mexicanos?
¿Son puros nopaleros, ¿no?
Yo soy mexicano, también soy nopalero. Te metes con uno, te metes con el país entero. Aparte, ¿quién chingado le dio permiso de hablarle mal a mi símbolo patrio, carnal, que es el nopal? Plasmado en mi bandera representa mi nación, que por cierto, de las más respetadas de la región. Dicen que México es comandado por los narcos, que tienen avionetas, camionetas y hasta barcos. Yo creo que es más culpable el que le compra mercancía. Hasta para los negocios somos la chingonería, que somos el número uno en la droga y el exporte. Hasta pa' eso somos la mera riata y el que soporte. Caile pa' México pa' que de cultura se atasque, y al que no quiera México y le pique que se rasque. Antes nadie nos respetaba y nos miraba muy mal. No dudo que pronto seremos potencia mundial. De México soy, de México soy. Mi bandera, mi tierra, mi gente. De México soy, ¡viva México! Y al que no quiera México y le pique que se rasque. De México soy, de México soy. Mi bandera, mi tierra, mi gente. De México soy, ¡viva México! Y al que no quiera México y le pique que se rasque. No digo que soy chingón solo por ser mexicano, pero ponme a hacer algo y me la pela con cualquier mano. México se respeta como a cualquier bandera. Lo insultas por teléfono, vete a insultarlo afuera. Se siente muy tan natudo y al final no se la acaba. De México es de donde sale la gente más brava. Aunque midas 3 metros y te quieras trenzar, un mexicano no se raja ni que te fuera a cargar. Nopales con huevo, nopales con guisado. No critiques algo sin antes haberlo tragado. Muchos países dicen que México se cree muy chingón. No nos creemos México si está bien cabrón. Uy, pero México no tiene una copa del mundo. Pero en economías mundiales México quedó en segundo. Prefiero perder en fútbol y tener para tragar que ganar una copa y dormirme sin cenar.
¿Qué opinaron los mexicanos?
¿Son puros nopaleros, ¿no?
De México soy, de México soy. Mi bandera, mi tierra, mi gente. De México soy, ¡viva México! Y al que no quiera México y le pique que se rasque. De México soy, de México soy. Mi bandera, mi tierra, mi gente. De México soy, ¡viva México! Y al que no quiera México y le pique que se rasque. De México soy, mi bandera, mi tierra, mi gente. De México soy. Y al que no quiera México y le pique, pues que se rasque. Y yo soy ciego, Alex García. Que viva México, la tierra del nopal.
Y va de nuevo mi tono.
Mexicano bandido, todo el barrio prendido. Siempre ando bien cuido, siempre poniendo ruido. Mexicanos al grito de guerra, yo defiendo mi tierra. No me dejo de nadie, yo cuido a los míos, mi raza se aferra.
Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera.
Me voy tendido, me voy empinando mi bote. Un poco mareado por la bebida y el borlote. Me tiene hasta la riata la gente con su mitote. Pero me despreocupo, me pelan todo el garrote. Me para la
su madre. A la dica este sistema nos quieren ver abajo, pero tumbar gente quien les dijo que es trabajo. Puro chingar al indio, váyanse mucho al carajo. Loco no me rajo, lo bueno porque
se armó la alianza más pesada del país. Todo el mundo ya conoce las rimas de estos MCs. Pa' ponerme más feliz, unos paisas de hachís, mis paisas en el gabacho bien truchas con la polis. Loco en Guanajuato con los ojos bien tumbados, de coto con el quesada, rifando por todos lados. Atento si prendo un blunt en cabina cuando grabo, represento Nuevo León junto a mi carnal el Davo. Cuando voy pa' Jalisco el pasado está olvidado, con el perro de la C bien grifo pedo y enfiestado. Chécate mi banderón unido como había soñado, bien bajado ese balón, compa lefty bien bajado. Puro hip hop mexa hasta que amanezca. Pásenme un mezcal y que no se apague la yesca. Ya saben que aquí andamos pilas pa' lo que se ofrezca. Si escribo estas rimas es pa' que se enorgullezca.
Verde marihuana, blanca cocaína, roja la sangre que escurre de una nueva herida. Yo salí de la ruina, nunca se me olvida. Con disciplina y respeto sigo en siempre la movida. Ando bien high, la vida es un freestyle. Disfruta lo que hay, vivo entre el bien y el mal, carnal. Crazy life todo el día, vienda live. Pinto tu barda con spray, lo que canto es real. Azules y rojas las sirenas que me persiguen. No suben pa' la virgen, salen todos cuando chifle. Mi barrio no lo pisen, que andamos todos grises. Maldito policía, no quiero que me revises. Prende la mota en Canala o en Hitter. Ando con mi flota y el dealer. Tenemos lo que se te ofrezca, tú nada más pide. Me dijo mi madre que de la envidia me cuide.
soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera.
Ya, ábranse cabrones, llegó el mexicano partiendo sin necesidad de palancas. Todos jugamos en la misma liga, yo soy titular, tú ves desde la banca. Disfruto cada cosa que me pasa, colaboro y mi carrera se levanta. El mismo cabrón que antes no tenía nada se la pasa viajando y dice que canta. Por eso me caga enfermarme de la garganta. Pero aguanta, traigo mata natural y humo de planta. 2, 3 cabrones dando lata y yo haciendo más plata. De esto la vida se trata y pa' que sepas no es barata. MC Davo los desbarata con cada escalón que sube. Yo tuve la suerte de hacerme fama en YouTube. Hay 2, 3 raperos de antaño que me bajé de su nube. Los mandé pa' su casa y de premio hasta les pagué el Uber. Si alguien me tira es porque sabe bien que domino el negocio y quiere de mi parte. No quiero darlas de grande, pero si me tiras la neta me toca humillarte. Soy capitán, llevo el estandarte. Somos muy pocos los que hacemos arte. Este flow si es de Marte, tú dale like y comparte.
México lindo y bandido, diario a Diosito le pido que me cuide a la familia si un día el cora ya no late. Estoy bendecido porque me cuidan los míos. Orgullosamente me exatamos locos de remate. Jaque mate, no hable de volar si viene gateando. La cosa por la frontera se pone violenta, no importa el rango. Toda la raza jalándole duro, si hay algo seguro es la muerte en donde ando. El sudor y la sangre en la frente, los de alzada controlando. Se roban la atención, ya saben quiénes son. Vatos locos con sazón como el de un corridón. No quiera tomarme el pelo si ando todo pelón. Levantando la bandera, viva México cabrón.
Es el perrito de la C. La bandera con un águila, Simón, mi tierra es esta. Me vale si mi piel o si mi acento les molesta. Acá jalan horas extras, nunca duermen la siesta. Están los que van pa'l jale y los que la viven de fiesta. Otros que en el pintón se tatúan de corazón. 3 colores en el pecho, morirían por su nación. Aunque su puto gobierno los puso en la situación de no terminar la escuela y terminar en la prisión. ¡Viva México, ladrones! ¿Qué hubo, les presidente? Ya saben que por mí policías chinguen a 20. Y ahí están mis 20 pa' la cagua. Aguas, que es tierra caliente de Chiapas hasta Chihuahua. Wow, 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 yipi yo, yipi yucas. Buenas, Montequín, Aguas, Tijuas y San Lucas. San Luis Potoyes, Mataulipas, La Puebluca. Dime si o no, loco, acá tienen lo que buscas.
Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera.
Puro hip hop mexa, perros, 2023.
Ey yo, ey yo.
Somos la santa.
final. Dispara millas sin mirar y sin mirar sin asimilar que es la puta herida de tu vida hurgo. Los manates, las chatarrillas hacen pa' pillar, piltrafillas, tres no nos pilla y se va con la furgo. Le hará falta una pedicura y una cura, si se apura quizás llega la locura de mi turbo. Dale vueltas a la partícula, deja ya la mandíbula quieta que sola llega a Luxemburgo.
Niño que para la compota que la pera pata.
Pero vinimos a mejorarla,
Pa' hablar por mi familia y tengo autoridad.
saben que no puedo cagarla.
Y poner ritmo y los manos dentro de cuatro patas. ¿Quieres esa vaina para probarla? Estoy aquel en el party donde se gata. Guata que el guatan alma. Vivimos huyendo de la envidia como los niños en Siria de la bomba que le manda el Pentágono. Y todo el día, mamá mía, keeping it mood, that's a real love, man, I never fear, never, no. La travesía de la vida más que misericordiosa y nuestra prosa siempre para allá fabono. Tú podrás por mí traicionar a tu familia, matar tu brazo, sangre, si vos sabías, pero yo no. Familia, familia, es el que está a la mínimo. Familia, familia, comparte almas cristalinas. Familia, familia, Rastafarian familia. Familia, familia, Magna Boy son familia, ya no maniga.
Bombo cry, sing it, cross the line on them. Warrior, vengo con los míos, Magna Gate, fire them. Bombo cry, sing it, cross the line on them. Warrior, vengo con los manas y saqué, fire them. I could stop, shut up on the microphone ballad, and let's smoke the marijuana, psycho Buddha bombo clap, and bang in the street, fire burn if you know it. Rastaman and God Illuminati play the kill. Stop, shut up on the microphone ballad, and let's smoke the marijuana, psycho Buddha bombo clap, bang in the street, fire burn if you know it. Key Cray is a king, Magnus thing, nobody no kill them. In a crazy style, Charlie no fire them. It's a Rasta ganja. Nobody no kill them. It's a Christy style. Charlie the fire cream. It's a Rasta ganja. Familia, Rasta chai is familia. Key Cray is familia. Pure nego is familia. Siku, Key Magneto, familia. Familia, es el que está a la mínima. Familia, comparte almas cristalinas. Familia, Rasta Zion familia. Magna Boy que te aplaste, mané.
Vale. ¿Sí? ¿Te atreverías?
Ahí está.
¡Bemba! ¡Es original! ¡Kimba! Quiero bailar, quieres de mí. Origini, todo para ti. Hey baby, original y originini. Yo no tengo un cromo de panini. Si viene el Kimba lo reventó con el fucking altavoz. Si vengo por en liga estoy con el chico para soltarlo bien tranquilito. Ese Kimana, el Kimaneto, porque tiene el ritmo y esqueleto. No vi, ella no vio nada. Cuando suelto ritmo parece en la boca nada. No soy un dragón pero suelto llamaradas. No soy un cabrón pero sueno que te cagas. Original y parecen bandadas de cuervos volando que viene a matar. Si quieres algo del Magneto siempre ves buscando un ritmo. Es original, siempre suena fresco. Lo mejor me lo merezco. No tenemos parentesco, golazos de parece popescu. Ey, original el Magneto ha llegado pa' soltar los ritmos sentados. Si quieres algo bueno pues yo vengo de un pasado. Desde lejos, hace tiempo, no soy viejo. Estoy atento, estoy contento. El entrecejo no lo ves, escondí hace tiempo. Original representa de radio, el Netflix de Europa. Pa' venir a reventar todos los escenarios y llevarme la copa.
Un aplauso, ganó. De Easy, haceme algo ya para culminar.
Hostia puta, tío, qué bueno.
¿Te dejo ahí mismo ese? ¿O te pongo otro?
Pónmelo del principio, va.
¿Del principio, este mismo? ¿O te pongo otro?
Esto está bien.
¿Este está bien? Vale. Desde el principio entonces. Ahí va, atención.
Estamos en Nazi Radio International Real.
Original.
Hemos vuelto a la casa del Real Netflix de Europa. Bombo Clad, dice.
Anda.
Don't stop everybody don't stop. Llegó el general para prender el club. Hey, sing it, boy, then yabadabadu. Con mi crew, solo tú, dame luz. Hey, sing it, badu. Don't stop, everybody don't stop. Llegó el general para prender el club. Sing it, boy, then yabadabadu. Con mi crew, solo tú, dame luz. Everything come through. Ooh, girl, think you better. I think you clever. Hey, stay, my fucking on nigga. Hey, girl, think you better. I think alone, my brother. Everybody come on, nego, hace radio, está fresco. Dice, mueve el cadera, mueve tremendo, suena perfecto, filo beca. Suena perfecto, viene el del ritmo del ghetto. By the fuck, internacional. Hey, nego, the fama, no really nobody. Si mueve el estilo, suena fenomenal. Suena bien guapo que viene los ritmos. En radio siempre suena fenomenal. Mueve cadera, mueve tremenda. Ese Neto, el rey de la fiesta. Suena guapo, te lo digo, sacaría. Así que dale, on the freak, nego.
Ical, hijo, abre los ojos. Tu cuerpo se queda con nosotros, pero tu espíritu debe seguir. Busca la luz. Aléjate de las sombras. Deja que nuestro dolor sea tu fuerza. Desde aquí iluminamos tu camino. Lucha como nosotros ante esta pena tan grande. Yo soy tú. Tú eres yo. La muerte que hoy nos separa, mañana volverá a unirnos. Eres libre, hijo.